Another poltergeist is haunting an abandoned church, and this one isn't so playful. Published to YouTube in July of 2021, this abandoned church has some supernatural visitors. Inside the church, amongst the whistling in the wilderness, something thuds nearby. The boys hold still, trying to listen for more unexplained noises. Moments later, they are standing there, casting light on the wall, when a distant, low-pitched moan is heard in the background. Well, in what looks like a basement space with lots of old items stored, a blast of sound is heard in the next room.
Güey, ¿qué pedo?
Ven,
Güey,
ven. Se oyó acá, se oyó allá.
pedo?
Se oyó allá, güey.
Something heavy and out of sight was thrown on the ground. As the boys attempt to speak to the spirit, another strange moan sounds faintly.
Ay, cabrón.
And then a couple of shelf doors are slammed shut with great force. In another area of the haunted church, several small successive thuds are followed by a strange double beep. They quickly get away from that space. Later, when peeking around a corner, a cabinet door slowly closes. Whatever is closed isn't caught on camera. Not long after, a big heavy door slowly opens, before being jarringly half shut. They approach the door. There is nothing on the other side. As the scary video wraps up, one of the crew is taking in a dark room when they hear a faint noise in the darkness.
Como lo hicimos en aquella ocasión que entramos a este.
They look over, shining a light there but find nothing. What is following them through this church? Perhaps a demon that couldn't be redeemed. A weird security video from southeastern Nigeria has been freaking people out since October of 2019. Animals seem to disappear in this haunted alleyway, and then it happens to someone who they've long suspected of being a witch. I think these security guards were bored and playing a joke. Notice how the yellow playback bar suddenly skips ahead whenever something disappears. It's pretty obvious that some editing has occurred. So my final analysis is no, this video is not real. What do you think though? As the name of his YouTube channel would suggest, Abroad in Japan provides helpful advice meant for anyone planning an extended stay in the country of Japan. Chris has lived there for over 7 years, and most of his videos deal with common topics, such as cultural differences and spending tips. 2 videos in particular, however, chronicle his experiences with Japan's supernatural. October 16th, 2018 is when Chris bikes with his friend Joey in search of an eerily abandoned tunnel that's rumored to be haunted. They don't know much about its history, but one look at how narrow it is, and it's hard to imagine a car squeezing through. The tunnel was apparently abandoned after too many lives were ended by unsafe driving. Now it lies on the side of the mountain, becoming more overgrown with each day. The first thing they notice is this strange human-like imprint on the wall, perhaps the spirit of someone who lost their life here. It's looking up towards the sky, and pale skin. Even the flowing sleeves of her dress are visible. It creeps them out and makes them want to get this over with so they can leave. As they are contemplating what all of this means, their camera records even more evidence that something is nearby. It's a soft voice whispering something in Japanese. Tell me if you can understand. I think it's real because the voice echoes off the tunnel walls. The exit is only a short distance away, so there's no big dramatic dash to safety or anything like that. They are suitably freaked out by now, and when they go to leave, this mysterious third person, shadow figure to be precise, is waiting for them at the end. Oh, and there's one other odd discovery in the haunted tunnel that I forgot to mention. Don't even want to know what this mysterious device was used for. It looks like it goes around a wrist or on an ankle and doesn't come off. So as strange as this paranormal encounter was, it was only scary enough to teach Chris his lesson for a year or two. February 16th, 2020 is when Chris stayed in Japan's most haunted hotel, a place known only as the Ryaku Fuso Inn. This is where the spirit of a young boy has been roaming the wealthiest people in Japan for over 600 years. That's a long time to be a troublesome little ghost. And by now he's gotten pretty good at his job, so what Chris sees that night should come as no surprise. This is where the spirit of a young boy has been haunting the wealthiest people in Japan for over 600 years. That's a long time to be a troublesome little ghost, and by now he's gotten pretty good at his job, so what Chris sees that night should come as no surprise. He and his friend wait until after hours to visit the memorial, where the boy is said to frequent, a shrine built in his name to keep him from becoming evil and cursed. I think I see the outline of a boy looking at them in the blue window above as one of them kneels down at the altar. And they must have done something wrong because this happens.
It's a bit creepy, isn't it?
Not only does a child scream, but a face appears over his shoulder shortly afterwards. They go back to their hotel room afterwards and don't think much of it, but the next day, Chris's friend reports an encounter that really troubles him. It seems as if they could have been followed after all.
Like, I couldn't move my body, and I heard someone, like, kind of standing on my
chest,
and then and he or she, whoever, touched my cheek.
I'm not sure if this last part is a paranormal encounter or sleep paralysis, condition in which people are unable to move and often think they see a shadow figure moving towards them. With two Barbie dolls in her hands, this little girl is as happy as can be. Her family is recording what should be a loving memory for them to watch over and over again with glee. Instead, if any of them ever watch this video again, it will be in sheer horror. The girl is in the middle of an improvised skit when her father calls something out to her. I think he is telling her to come eat dinner or something like that. Based on what happens next, it looks like the girl wasn't the only one who was listening. As soon as the girl says something to the effect of "not right now," the Barbie snaps her head back and gives her a glare. Maybe the doll doesn't appreciate the disrespect towards her father, or maybe it's done being played with for right now. Either way, the girl throws both dolls into the air and runs away. Of course, this could be a fake video, but I'm not sure how you would make the doll's head turn like that. For one thing, the girl's hand isn't anywhere near the doll's head, and for another, you can see by looking at the doll's hair that no string has been tied around its head. Most people in the comments of this video think that it's real. This video of the Ishima Hoyashi Bridge in Japan looks like one of the scariest places in the world to drive over and has the internet freaking out. It resembles a terrifying roller coaster more than a bridge, but I found a video of someone going over it, and while the ride is creepy, it's probably not as bad as you thought. I just wanted to show what going over this bridge is really like, since the video went viral not too long ago. The reason why the bridge is built like this is to give extra room for boats to go under. It makes sense, but doesn't really make it any less scary, especially if you already have a fear of bridges to begin with. I saw a light anomaly, writes Francisco Escamilla after uploading this bizarre ring cam footage to his YouTube channel. He has no idea what this was and is looking for answers, so let's try and help. I think this could actually be paranormal because their dog just so happens to go crazy at the same time. The block is quiet and the dog doesn't really have much to bark at other than this strange moving object. Some dogs will bark at nothing, so that's not necessarily proof. The way this alleged ghost orb slowly moves makes me wonder if this is actually just a bug that was attracted to the porch light, walking across the lens up close to give this strange and spooky effect. Published to YouTube by Proving Demons in May of 2020. You might want to call your local exorcist after watching this video. The uploader explains that the house they entered is known to have been the site of an exorcism, and they were exploring it to capture paranormal activity. He writes, while experiencing heavy poltergeist activity, I could feel the demon inside trying to possess me as it did the previous owner, who is now insane in a mental institution. From that point, our ghost hunt took a turn for the worst. Let's take that turn with them. After hiking up to the abandoned building and entering through a crawl hole, the crew finds the inside looks like a surreal art shed. Colorful paper lanterns hang, arrows are pointing every which way, all natural light in the place is framed by gothic windows. At first, the general aura of the place is curious rather than creepy. There are lots of scraps of paper posted to a board, a large map, a guitar hanging on one wall. As one YouTuber, Lavender Rainbow, points out, there's a pamphlet on the wall later in the clip at 16 minutes 29 seconds that reads, Bipolar Disorder Survival Guide. So maybe the person living here was trying to seek psychiatric help. You find yourself wishing you were there, so you might examine things up close and learn more. But then the crew hears a woman screaming. They head towards a back room, with one of the dudes mentioning that they hadn't even made sure they were alone in this building. In fact, the building looks very lived in, not abandoned. There's what looks like a bed in the next room with blankets on it, a full backpack beside it, clothes hanging. Are they alone? He continues into the next room, hearing others inside, but it turns out just to be his own crew. You can hear a lot of sounds and things moving, like there are animals on the roof. Next, the door closes behind him by itself. They use the EVP to see if anyone's there in the home with them. The quick reply is yes. They also hear the words demon, as well as a warning, get out now. The demon tells them they have no right to be there. Andrew says he's starting to feel affected and his hands are shaking. And moments later, something falls off the shelf. Even scarier are the Polaroids that they find of what appears to be an authentic exorcism or ritual of some sort. What do you think went on in this makeshift cathedral of a home? A possession? Would you feel comfortable in the demon's skin? A ghost hunter named Solo Ambush goes exploring an abandoned morgue in the woods full of creepy things. The place has been deserted for years, but the smell of bodies has buried itself into the morgue walls. This table surface must be where they were prepared for burial. On it he finds a needle to sew whatever shut. He puts it in his pocket, which possibly upsets the spirits because that's when the paranormal activity begins. He puts an object on the table and invites any spirits nearby to make it move.
Ada lagi. Dia sudah mula bunyi.
A defiant spirit moves things behind him instead. When he goes to investigate the noise, he finds nothing, and then he gets an idea.
Okay, let's switch off the light.
A figure in red silently passes across the floor of the haunted, abandoned mortuary with its head down. He runs after it and finds only the stench of decay is left in its wake, nothing else.
Bau busuk lah, geng.
He says this ghost sighting could be a reflection of light, but he is standing in a dark hallway with the lights off, so I'm not sure I agree with that one. Like many of the previously haunted places he's gone exploring in the past, what he's caught on tape in this building is most likely paranormal and terrifying, and as he leaves, something slams the door closed behind him. The ghost hunter is no longer welcome to go exploring this haunted place. Not that he ever was to begin with. Here's why you should never look down during a hailstorm.
Holy! I felt the shockwave from that.
A bolt of lightning cracks across the brick wallway in front of him. I felt the shock waves, he says as he runs inside, but in truth, he's lucky he didn't feel something a lot worse. The moral of this scary video, if there is one, is to never go outside during this kind of weather. No exceptions. Not even the doorstep is safe. A paranormal researcher named Eduardo Haunter is exploring an abandoned hospital in the northern part of Mexico City. He gets pretty far and eventually sets up a camera in an old examination room, hoping to record some scary things on video. At 3 a.m. things get pretty weird. An old chair groans under the weight of an apparent ghost doctor sitting down. I don't think this was done with a string either. The top half of the chair moves while the wheels remain stationary. Or perhaps Eduardo simply put the wheels in a locked position first. I'm not sure what to believe. There's arguments for both explanations, so take one last look and help me decide. Fisherman's Chronicles gets a catch while kayaking in the San Francisco Bay, but you'll never guess what he's caught on camera, or rather, what's caught him.
Oh my, that's a fish on. That's a fish on. Oh my, this is a big fish on. I got a big fish on. Oh, this is a halibut. It's for sure a keeper.
He thinks he's hooked a halibut, but it's much worse than that. A stingray. Its whipping tail is like a serrated needle that will mess you up in seconds flat. He has to get the hook out of its mouth fast while avoiding the tail.
Wow, look at, got a good view of that. This guy's trying to sting me.
Nothing new for him. He's caught hundreds of them before, but I guess everyone can make a mistake. The tail connects and a barbed wire feeling races up his arm. Now he has to get the hook out with the ray in his lap, and he's lucky it doesn't take a chunk out of his thigh here at 7 minutes and 17 seconds. They do have razor sharp teeth. He gets to a hospital as fast as he can, and this is the end result.
Well, I had to row like half a mile back to the kayak launch with a stingray tail like sticking out of my arm.
It's healed up nicely since, and he doesn't have any nerve damage to speak of, but it's not something I would ever want to go through, and I hope he never does again. He's lucky it wasn't higher up and nicked an artery. Also, I just wanted to commend him for not getting angry at the stingray for defending itself. He focuses on getting the hook out of the stingray first before getting help for himself.
I still want to release this guy as fast as possible.
I think everyone's first instinct is to throw it back into the water, so this must have taken an incredible amount of self-restraint. There's a phantom haunting this women's bathroom, and she doesn't like being disturbed. Posted to the r/paranormal encounter subreddit by Kiraxis. This entity was captured in a women's bathroom in Colombia. The footage shows an empty building at night. Something can be heard causing a disturbance in the bathroom.
Estoy nuevamente aquí, en la puerta del baño.
The security guard looks up and down both hallways. He then approaches the bathroom where he finds that the noise is the faucet shutting on and off.
Se prenden las luces. ¿Está jugando con la llave? ¿Ah?
At first you think that could easily be explained away by some technical malfunction, but then one of the air dryers is triggered too.
¿Está jugando con la llave?
After a moment, a door from one of the bathroom stalls slams shut, and that's the last straw for the security guard.
Necesito otra prueba. ¡Ay, marica!
He flees the scene. Could this be the real-life version of the fictional Moaning Myrtle? Whoever it is, they sure chose a strange place in which to spend eternity. Something in this pizzeria has had enough. Posted to TikTok by Flaming Belladonna 3. This short clip shows what happens when you anger the pizza gods. The clip shows several workers standing around in the kitchen. On a pizza belt to the right, a pizza flipper and a slicer are sitting on the top belt. As the girls chat, the slicer suddenly shoots off the shelf and knocks one of them in the head. How in the world could this happen? Some think the workers angered a ghost by putting pineapple on the pizza. Others, like Jonathan Zwar, suggest that the slicer was on the conveyor and probably was pushing against the metal lip, causing it to be propelled when the tension released. Many in the comments, however, would rather focus on the danger of that slicer. The 509 Grim Knight writes, "That could have easily been in Final Destination. So now that all the facts are in, what do you think? Is this an angry pizza ghost or an angry conveyor belt?" After a mission to an old haunted railway tunnel, Crypto Girl 13 spied something mysterious in her footage while editing. Published in August of 2013, the Crypto Girl and her friend are navigating through the forest and mud to the mouth of the tunnel. After wading through obstacles of sludge and climbing over large branches, they arrive at the entrance. Zooming into the deep darkness, the video starts glitching out as she talks about the story of a monster living in the tunnel.
Old story that some kind of creature, I think there's some kind of creature that...
Getting closer to the entrance, they hear some creepy noises inside.
What the that?
But it was upon editing the footage that they spotted these two glowing red orbs, which they believe to be eyes of the legendary monster. Were they closer to the cryptid than they ever imagined? Or is there something else inhabiting this old railway tunnel? Since it's been almost 10 years, I don't know if this mystery will ever be solved. A man was fast asleep in bed when a new type of alarm woke him. Posted to TikTok by Mr. List Paranormal, the man is seen lying on his back when suddenly he flips onto his stomach. He thrashes around as though trying to escape something, and then that something takes it to the next level. The man's feet are lifted skyward as he continues to try and free himself. At last he is left alone, and then he turns around, gazing forward at nothing. Then he sits calmly cross-legged, as if in a trance. Many in the comments say this is why you should keep both feet under the blanket, but for others, this video is inspiring. TikToker KM107 writes, "I'm so doing this to people. Sounds like he'd be a pretty mischievous ghost." Paranormal activity was recently caught on video by this family in Pakistan, but I'm not sure if this is a poltergeist or just them throwing things around, so help me decide. Most of the objects come from the corner of the screen and could have been easily thrown by someone off camera. I'm not sure how they made the table come back after it was thrown against the wall, but it doesn't look that heavy, so maybe it was on a wire. I guess we'll never know for sure. Something strange happens every night in the room of a YouTuber named Sumi, and it happens at 3 a.m. The door looks fully shut with the latch in place, so that means somehow the door opens without the knob turning, and then continues to open with nobody on the other side. It's a lightweight door, but even if the house was built on a slope or something, I don't think it would open that easily. Plus, if this really does happen at 3 a.m., like Sumi claims, then there's just no question in my mind that A, their whole house is haunted, and B, it's time to install a lock. A person cautiously follows a winding road at night using only the light on their phone to guide them. They sense danger on the right and look over. Nothing is there, but their feeling of being watched does not go away. So they look over again, and that's when they make contact. A short creature with a portly body, atop long legs, does its best to escape the flashlight. At 1 minute and 36 seconds, we see that the overall gray coloring of the creature, when under the light, does match the rest of the background remarkably well. There's no obvious blurring around the edges of the creature either, which indicates that this may in fact be authentic, unedited footage. A YouTuber named Blake Smith's Gaming Blitz lives alone and often hears wearing sobs in his basement. He says that he is way too strapped for cash to afford a Bluetooth speaker, and that this is real. Take a listen for yourself. At 57 seconds into the video, the spirit seems to respond to his voice.
Hello? Hello?
He pokes around the corner, and sitting in the far corner of the room is a tiny entity made of light that kind of resembles a small child. I took a screenshot to better illustrate what I'm saying. The shape looks roughly symmetrical, and the head is looking directly at the camera. Passengers are boarding this airplane in Thailand, but how is this possible when the entrance is disconnected from the airport? Are these people or spirits? You decide. As a counterpoint, someone pointed out that there could have been a second entrance here on the other side. The people could be traveling in an L-shaped tunnel, but since we can't confirm it from this angle, both explanations are plausible. This ghost sighting will send chills down your spine. Published to YouTube by TechWorld TV in August of 2014, this video shows a haunted Hindu cremation site. A man arrives at this site in India to investigate a local story. According to the man, he was walking down this dirt road when he saw an entity at this place. The investigator explains that passed away individuals are taken there for their last rites. Nobody lives here, apart from packs of stray dogs. As the man navigates around the puddles on the wet road to approach the ceremonial sites, dogs start barking like crazy at a distance.
In this place.
Then the man shouts that he just saw an entity floating from the building further back. Upon closer inspection of the video, you can see the white vapor the man is talking about. It appears in the darkness under the veranda before floating up and then vanishing. While some point out the vapor moves simultaneously with the camera. One Redditor, Ricky Jaikaran, notes, "I would have said it was a smudge on the camera if the dogs hadn't started to bark at the same time. What do you think? Coincidence or a spirit ascending?" These campers aren't going to get any more sleep tonight. Posted to TikTok by Eagle Trindade. One camper opens their tent flap to reveal 4 enormous crocodiles waiting just outside their door. And that's not even the scariest part. At least a dozen pairs of eyes are gleaming in the darkness. The man closes the tent flap as if that weak nylon and polyester is going to save him from this army of chompers. While some in the comments are saying this is more terrifying than a horror movie, others are just wondering how these guys made it out of their tent. Are these crocodiles just trying to get warm? Or are they out for a midnight snack?
Ah, meu Deus do céu! Vocês estão entendendo o quanto de jacaré tem aqui? Eu tô na barraca, literalmente, pra acampar. Vamos dormir aqui igual? Eu vou.
You're bound to come across strange things in the middle of nowhere. Published in October of 2019, the cameraman sets out into the forest on the outskirts of the city of Perm, and what he finds is that it's occupied. He eventually arrives at this strange structure, plastic sheets topped by wooden planks. When he removes one of the sheets, you see that it leads into an underground hovel of some sort. Deeper into the forest, he encounters another strange structure. This one again is made up of plastic and tarps, but it's been built above ground between two trees. There is a pair of jeans hanging on a limb, a plastic bag hanging from another, and a whole pile of garbage scattered on the ground. He peers inside to find someone sleeping in the shelter. He hurries away but comes across one last structure in his journey. When he peeks in, you can tell that someone lives inside this one too, but there's no one home at this time. One side is covered in branches to camouflage the structure, while items are hung on a line to dry. Obviously, it looks like a small community of people live in this forest, and I'm not sure how friendly they're gonna be to this guy popping in to say hi. This resident office ghost is unusually helpful. Posted to the paranormal evidence subreddit by Nice Socks Dude, the ghost here opens filing cabinet drawers so that you don't have to. In the video, the bottom drawer of the cabinet slowly opens. When the cameraman pushes it closed, the upper drawer then slowly slides forward. Push closed again. Both drawers slide open on their own. The cameraman pushes them closed again, but they both again open, one after the other. Some in the comments think the load is too heavy. They might be spring-loaded or off balance, or the entire building's foundation has sunk, but at least one Redditor agrees that it's a ghost. Do you think this office is haunted? If that's the case, at least this ghost is helpful. Another dog with something to prove. Posted to YouTube by It's Just Mars in March of 2012, the uploader writes that her dog does this most nights. The clip shows the dog on high alert for 5 minutes, growling, barking, and whining. At the end of the video, the uploader says that the closet door just opened on its own. The dog appears very upset by this and is pacing around the bed. I really think that the dog was right about everything. There's something unseen in this house. This couple is dedicated to, as their description states, the search of paranormal activity in places with terrifying histories. As is sometimes possible when investigating, ghosts have followed investigators to their homes, and they believe someone they made contact with on a previous investigation did just that. On January 21st, 2021, they hosted a live stream to document what they believed was a haunting in their home. Hoping to document evidence and find answers, they invited the public to join on their session. The first half of the investigation seems to produce little results, but something rather disturbing appears as they venture down the stairs. Through a glazed window overlooks the stairs, the figure of a woman can be seen staring towards the camera. At first glance, it can be easily mistaken for a painting, but when inspecting it closer, you can see there is actual 3D depth to it, something a painting would be impossible to have. The figure looks either like a woman with long dark hair, or someone wearing a robe. To further prove it is not a painting, the same window is shown a few minutes later and the figure is gone. Furthermore, they venture outside to show the other side, and it is several feet above the ground, making it impossible for anyone to get up there without a ladder. Nothing around the window resembles the figure, as it has simply vanished. As they descend further down the stairs, an orb can be seen flying fast across the top left corner of the screen. Once they reach the bottom step, a loud, low exhale can be heard.
La esfera.
The sound is too low pitched to be either of the couple, as we could hear them breathe beforehand and it doesn't match. It is also possible it was the sound of something sliding, although we cannot see what or if anything moves. Unfortunately, the remainder of the video becomes uneventful and other apparent orbs can be easily explained. For example, while they are filming a mirror, a glowing orb-like spectacle can be seen flying around. However, when the camera's light is turned off, it disappears, meaning it was simply a glare from the light itself. It's terrifying to imagine something becoming attached to you and following you back to your home. It's one of the risks when going on investigations, meaning it is not for the faint of heart. It also shows how there are more than just the physical dangers on these adventures, with even professional investigators such as Ghost Adventures suffering from severe states of paranormal oppression and even possession. It goes as a warning for those who decide to take up the cause for themselves. Take heed and be aware of what you are getting into, even if you are a skeptic or non-believer. Respect the locations you are visiting. Ever felt like you were being watched? These three boys definitely had reason to. Posted by the Comics Man to the Chills Narrator subreddit, the uploader writes, "Some dudes go to the Danakil Desert or a park. What is in the first frame? The video shows three kids getting ready to do some parkour, everyday kid stuff, but not far beyond in the background. Look at what is watching them from a nearby tree. The figure appears like a silhouette and gives off serious Slenderman vibes. The ominous way it's lurking there makes the otherwise innocent parkour video intensely creepy. You can vaguely see the figure again at a distance. At 1 minute and 43 seconds, it continues to stand there in the clump of trees, and again around 3 minutes in. What is this thing? Do these boys have a lurker? Nowhere is safe." Mutations are not an uncommon occurrence amongst calves, but they are rare enough where witnessing one might surprise you. This calf was born in Villa Ana, Argentina in September of 2019, and it did indeed surprise its owners, as it appeared to have a human face. The calf was born with a malformed skull, a small nose and mouth, and had difficulty holding its head up. It passed away within hours of this video, but farmers shared the footage online, sending the video viral. Speaking to local media, genetics expert Nicholas Menego said the calf might have possessed a rare genetic mutation. Similar incidents have been captured on video across the world, with a two-headed calf with features to boot, 2 mouths and 4 eyes, in India earlier in 2019. Although not too unusual from a biological standpoint, I think we can all agree that looking into the sad-looking eyes of this calf, after knowing what happened to it, takes courage. This Iraqi child is unique from her peers in many different ways, because her skin and hair have no pigmentation at all, but most importantly, her eyes are pure red. The reason she squints into the camera is because her red eyes absorb all of the light instead of reflecting it. Her parents see this rare eye color as a blessing, but some see it as a curse. After all, red eyes are a nearly universal sign of possession in many cultures, though I doubt this is the case here. Some superstitious folks will no doubt be wary of her before they have a chance to better understand. Her red eyes will stay this way for the rest of her life and hopefully cause her no social stigma. Jim Lin is visiting Harbin, Japan, and now faces bowl after bowl of gourmet insects. The pressure is on to sample the culture by eating as many different dishes as he can. At 4 minutes and 1 second, the juices of a plump cicada hits the back of his throat with a loud squirt.
Oh, that's goose. Oh, that's goose.
The insides look wet and green, and not like something I would look forward to trying. How would you even tell if this was cooked right? But there's still more bugs to eat. This oversized grasshopper looks more like a crayfish. They are in a busy market with music and people having conversations everywhere, and yet the crunch is louder than anything else going on. When in Rome, do as the Romans do is an age-old expression that means you should follow the rules of other cultures in their country, but I don't think everyone could handle this bug buffet. It may just make your jaw drop. Ryan Prunty is certain their estate is haunted. After this creepy experience in their attic happened, let's take a look at what he and his friend caught on tape and see if it's really paranormal.
Stuff, I think it's all good up here, dude. We're gonna explore a little further. No! No. Bro, it's locked. Funny, Bailey. I'm not. Open the door, Bailey. Bailey, open the door. Look. What is that?
It doesn't look like the door got stuck by itself. At 11 minutes and 34 seconds, the locking mechanism has been turned into a horizontal locked position. Someone, either a ghost or one of their roommates, must have been on the other side. They force open the door, and less than a minute later, this mysterious orb guides them to another weird event. No one else is home, and yet they see wet footprints outside of the shower that lead to nowhere. Maybe one of them showered and left, but I think most people would pick up the towel first. It's a creepy video, but all of these ghostly encounters would be easy to fake with the help of a third person. So I'm wondering if that's exactly what they did. A Saudi Arabian ghost hunter, known as Explorer Abdullah Al-Anzi, goes investigating a haunted mansion that has been abandoned for a long time. Strange paranormal activity begins in the courtyard. Decades of decay have worn this place into little more than roomfuls of rubble that he is determined to explore. As he is wondering how many floors this building has, he realizes he is far from alone. He's exploring the basement when he hears something in a commanding voice. If you know what was said, then fill us in too.
Huh? سمعتك مين انت؟
He isn't sure where it's coming from, so he looks all around. Right before Abdullah turns around, something strange is caught on camera looking at him at 16 minutes and 23 seconds. A spirit or a creature with a single glowing eye. The voice is never heard again, so he thinks it's a jinn. Based on the paranormal evidence he's caught on camera, I think he's probably correct. Like most cats, this one can snooze all day.
She's right here, sleeping. She's not even moving.
But unlike most cats, this one will wake from a deep sleep whenever the door to the basement is touched, even putting its paw out as if to greet whatever's on the other side. This time it's more curious than normal, more driven. The cat seems to pay extra attention to the doorknob in particular. It really wants in. Then the door opens.
What I don't understand is I can do this to any door. She won't care. Holy...
Despite being closed and latched, the door pops open. Even assuming the cat did slide its paw under the door and somehow opened it, what is down there that has its interest, and why only this door? A ghost hunter doesn't even get his equipment fully set up before he detects a paranormal presence on camera. Look how quickly the shadow moves by. The shadow moves way too fast and also turns in the opposite direction as he does, meaning it can't belong to him. Here's the shadow from a second angle, this time taken from the handheld camera. Clearly, this shadow is caused by something off camera, but whether it's human or not is up for you to decide. A YouTuber named Tracy is recording a video at the Hedingham Castle in England while on vacation with her husband. The voices and footsteps of other visitors easily carry throughout the castle, but it's just good acoustics, and they are not nearly as close as they sound. Anyway, look what happens while Tracy is standing motionless next to her husband in a large room all by themselves.
Not sure, but I think I just saw a shadow walk across the wall.
A shadow clearly passes across the wall in front of them, but as Tracy pans the room, you can see that no one else is present. None of the windows or entrances completely line up, yet the shadow looks very human in nature and appears to be coming from directly behind them. It's 3 in the morning when Daniel, Christensen's dog, begins growling and the bedroom door swings open. Daniel is staring into the dark hallway while recording with his camera, waiting for something to happen.
What a trip.
Here you can see what could be the head, shoulders, and left arm of a shadow person. It's towards the corner of the room on the right hand side. Let me know if you see it. Then the shadow appears again, much closer this time. It's way too dark though, so I can't tell for sure if it's a shadow or just his thumb. A YouTuber called Wet Tent catches a poltergeist in action in his home. As evidenced by this slamming door, he shows that there is nobody on the other side, and then waits for it to happen again. It's creepy until you see his window is open, so it could be a breeze. And here at 13 seconds, you can see a tag on his covers move in the wind. I just wanted to show this video because I think that it could help explain other videos with slamming doors. Still, I would not totally discount this video. Wet Tent should make a new one with the window closed and see if it still happens. 2 men from northern Georgia are having some fun and celebrating in the forest. They begin to hear screeches coming from the wilderness surrounding them. At first they are concerned, though they brush it off, but it soon becomes apparent that whatever is making these noises is coming closer and closer to them. Soon a figure appears out of the darkness, who looks to be covered in red stains. They flee in the other direction, which was certainly the smart thing to do. While most think this is a humanoid creature of some kind, I think it might be a deranged person who is hiding out in the forest.
What the?
He probably thought these guys were too close to his hideout and gave them a big scare to make sure they never returned. What do you think of this theory? If you've ever wondered who would win in a battle, a human or a ghost, you're about to have your answer. This clip was posted to Facebook in March of 2020. The footage shows a semi-transparent ghost throwing rocks and other items from under a bridge. As other men enter the scene and see what's transpiring, one of them takes it upon himself to run at the ghost man and confront him. After a struggle with the man, the ghost comes out ahead. Many more men join in before the ghost man escapes and assumedly glides off to his ghost den. What's happening here? What did this ghost possibly want? This story needs a follow-up. There's nothing more disturbing than the sound of an unexpected and unknown siren. What could possibly be impending? A tornado tearing through the town? What are we being warned about? Posted by Epic Memer Boy 0123 to the Chills Narrator subreddit, the uploader writes that he started to hear sirens randomly midday. In the clip, the sirens sound quite high-pitched, almost like a car horn beeping long and restlessly. Several in the comments suggest it's a test siren of some kind, either for tornado warnings or other emergencies. The Redditor clarifies that it lasted for around 10 to 15 minutes. Superman Connor writes, that definitely sounds too long to be a tornado siren then. When the Redditor mentions that a friend said it was an air raid siren, Superman responds those only last about 30 seconds. It seems the Redditor isn't the only one suffering from unknown siren syndrome. The Wastelander 96 writes, something similar happened near here a couple nights ago when the sirens just went off for like 10 to 15 minutes and then just stopped. Perhaps it is an emergency siren that they are testing, but for a different kind of emergency. Wonder what that could be. This reportedly leaked video appears to be taken in a desert somewhere on the outskirts of civilization. Two scientists in full biohazard gear examine a colossal footprint that's been left behind by what appears to be some type of giant creature. I think this video is likely not real because there appears to only be one footprint and no others nearby. If there was a series of footprints stretching beyond the horizon, I would be more inclined to believe it's real. Otherwise, they could have easily dug a hole in the shape of a monstrous footprint.
I've heard of that. You see that?
A rough landing in Buckland, Alaska becomes even scarier when you learn all of the things the pilot said. The fact that anyone is alive is a miracle. They were trying to keep the plane from sharply veering to the right and colliding with everyone below. The plane's steering was off and nobody knew to get out of the way, and it's not like planes have horns or anything, so there was no way to tell them that they were in the way, while everyone on the ground was folding their arms and waiting. The pilot was freaking out and applying a maneuver called asymmetric reverse thrust. Basically, he reversed the engines to change the trajectory of the landing. It cost him a wheel but spared others their lives. So the lesson of this scary video is to assume the worst and give planes plenty of room to land. Situations like this don't always have happy endings. A man believes the stairwell in his apartment is haunted by a creature that's not paranormal, but not human. He thinks he sees movement and says this is a still image. The image has gone viral, so I wanted to analyze the video.
What is that?
The video does not look nearly as convincing as the image, which is often the case because it is harder to animate than Photoshop. The figure shows a convincing lack of realistic movement as it dips back into the darkened doorway from where it came. So if you've ever seen this popular picture and were wondering what the accompanying video looked like, now you know. The Mikey Mike channel encounters a bizarre sighting in the clear blue sky that leaves him freaked out. The creepy moments were also caught on dash cam, so we can have a look too.
The word in case you just did, I'll give it to you again right now. It's easy. EASY. Now what you want to do is take that code word easy and text that.
What the hell? Where the f*** that just come from?
A bolt of lightning touches down on a sunny day, no rain. Hardly any clouds in the sky, and the few hanging around have not even a touch of gray.
There's no clouds here! Look! No clouds! Like it just came from space!
Mikey can't shake the feeling that he's seen something he was never meant to see. This video got me curious, and I was able to find a second one like it, half as long and twice as weird.
Oh, I hope I got that time. I don't know if I did or not. Is in the corner over here.
At 1 second, a flash of lightning touches down without intersecting with a cloud at all. It seems to just literally come out of the blue. I looked up what this was and came across a term called dry lightning that I have heard before but never really studied in depth. This is a name for what happens when precipitation evaporates really fast. It's technically raining, but we just don't notice because rain doesn't reach the ground, but lightning does. These two videos basically mean you can get struck down by a random bolt at any time, even on a nice day. There really is no safe time to stand under trees or by anything metal when you consider that this is apparently a common phenomenon. You might have almost gotten struck by lightning plenty of times without even noticing it because it's silent and you probably weren't looking up. Freaky, right? A YouTuber called Bangladesh Ghost Hunter, together with his trusty dog Thomas, go exploring abandoned houses and other fabled haunted places deep in the woods. One of their freakier finds takes place at night deep in the woods, where scary things are caught on camera, beginning with a scream.
এবং আপনারা ওয়েট এর জন্য কিন্তু থমাস
কোথায় দেখো তো
As they strain into the darkness, a large number of weird things are caught on camera that deserve further analysis.
ওখানে কিছু আছে, ঠিক আছে, এজন্য কিন্তু থমাস
কোথায় দেখো তো?
ছিল মানে হা করে সেই ধোঁয়াগুলো খাচ্ছিল। থমাস, থমাস।
Watch this part beginning at 5 minutes and 39 seconds and see how much paranormal activity you can see in 15 seconds.
যখন আলাদা করতে চেয়েছিল, তো তখন কিন্তু আমি কাছে ছিলাম, তখন আর কি পরিস্থিতি হয়েছিল সেটা যদি একটু বল।
Okay, at 5 minutes and 40 seconds, a strange yellow orb glances across the camera and goes away. 2 seconds later, he turns his head as this pink aura is caught on camera that may or may not be the cameraman's finger, but in that moment, a strange wispy mist rains down on him that he can't see. 20 minutes and 40 seconds is when they finally see it. A form between two trees in the shape of a person. The flashlight chances upon it for but a brief moment and then it's gone. But it's still there watching them, of that I am sure. A YouTuber named Marissa Rachel makes a ghost video update to show what can go wrong when you take your chances with a Ouija board. She thinks her house has been haunted by a ghost for a while, and she sometimes wakes up with strange marks on her body that she can't explain. First, a ghost in her room spells out the word help.
Is this room haunted?
Me neither.
I'm not moving it. Well, I'm definitely not moving it. I didn't do that either. Oh my, that's really scary. I want to stop playing.
I can't see a string and this video is a pretty decent resolution, so one should be visible across the darker parts of the board. That still doesn't rule out a magnet under the table though, so maybe that's how this video is made. I know this plastic pointer doesn't have one, but maybe they've taped one underneath. Otherwise, this scary video must be paranormal. If you ever find yourself in Moonville Tunnel in Ohio, you might want to tunnel your way out of there. This haunted railroad tunnel is home to legendary local ghosts. While visiting, this boy caught one on camera. After finding a pentagram drawn into the dirt,
You can sort of see a pentagram there.
He waited in the darkness.
I'm hearing gunshots.
While the noises could be explained by the wind and the wilderness, what do you make of this? Watch the white space at the end of the tunnel closely.
Did you hear that? Just hit the ground.
Do you see that? Here it is again, slower this time. The apparition looks like it's moving. It then disappears into the light. Another shot of the tunnel a moment later shows no figure around. But in my opinion, it could be the shadows of the trees or the brush to the right captured as the camera's lights adjusts. Watch as he zooms in again here.
Here's somebody with their dog.
It is strange though that the capture appears to be standing upright, and if it is just a shift while the camera's lights adjusts, why did it only capture this one distinct shape? Tell me what you think in the comments. This one has left me with more questions than answers. In this house, you'll expect a jump scare around every corner. After experiencing paranormal events in his family home, this man decided to take some video to see if he could capture anything on camera. Let's take the haunted tour. What is happening here? He finds a flower on the stairs. He claims no one in the household knows where it came from. Is this knock a warning, as the YouTuber believes? Well, upstairs in the bedroom, it happens again.
Oh man, you think you've got what they're doing?
Something just threw the clothes from the wardrobe. If those knocks were a warning, I'd take the clothes as a clear message. This ghost wants you to leave. A man on a train awakes to find someone staring at him in a weird way. A ghost in the window, to be precise. The pale figure doesn't move, supposedly locking eyes with the passenger, who at this point is beyond creeped out, feels watched, and thinks this is some scary stuff to wake up to. When zoomed in, it could be the reflection of something inanimate, though of what I'm not so sure. Whatever it is, the transparent outline of a face is still visible nonetheless. If you still can't see it, look on the right side of the window and you'll see a weird face with a long, narrow nose and all black eyes pressed against the glass. I assume the person who caught this on camera takes this train often and has never seen anything like this before. So what could this strange sighting be? A YouTuber named Maddie Ann thinks she sees something walking around her backyard, so she grabs a camera and a high-powered flashlight and sets out to record it. By the time she gets outside, she doesn't see it anymore, so she starts scanning the yard with her light to see if it will move again. The disfigured and misshapen shadow is what she finds. You can see it peeking from around a tree for a second before ducking back into the darkness. The shadow is not really the right size for a human, and the head appears to be bald and shaped oddly. What's really weird is how the camera captures no features. If this was a person, then you should be able to see more details under the light. After all, the camera is able to pick up the brown color of the tree, so you would think that the person behind it would show some color too. Instead, Maddie Ann passes over a creature with a blank face. I don't think this was one of her friends, though I guess it could be someone wearing a costume with black mesh over the face. What would you do if you ran into a massive python and the paranormal all in one night? Published to YouTube in June of 2020 by Catch 'em All Fishing. That's exactly what happened to this explorer as he trapezed through the ramshackle underground city. In fact, Zach seems to have gone here specifically to look for snakes. The abandoned place is, in and of itself, creepy enough. He keeps shouting hello as he begins his journey, and his echo rings eerily throughout the enormous space. The dark, damp place seems like the perfect breeding ground for snakes. At one point, around 4 minutes and 15 seconds, Zach appears to capture the beam of a flashlight bouncing off a distant wall. He also hears voices. He may not be alone down here. He rushes over to see who else is there, but he says the voices have stopped. Then he hears the haunted voices again. It's more like a moaning, which is made even more terrifying by the echo. Then at 5 minutes and 53 seconds, Zach abruptly turns to a doorway, seeming to sense something there, and it appears that something is there. If you watch in slow-mo, an obscure figure is standing in the darkness of the opposite room. Although he got the heck out of there, Zach's night didn't end there. As he's driving home, he crosses paths with what he'd been looking for all along, a snake. Zach chases down an enormous python. He manages to grab it by the tail while the snake tries to bury its head in the sand. He grips the snake near its head and shows the audience its fangs as the python starts to wrap its thick body around his arm. I think this is exactly why you should never grab a python. Zach tries to release the snake into a bag and does manage to collect him and zip him inside without getting tagged. Between encountering what may have been the paranormal in the underground city and prying this python from his arm, one thing's for sure, this dude has nerves of steel. Submitted to the Chills Narrator subreddit by Hunting the Haunted, this Redditor wrote, "The haunted Frank Lloyd Wright house in Florida. This place has always been active. Check out the full video over on our YouTube channel. Let's watch their submission and see what they're talking about."
I just let an orb fly by toward you. What was that?
I'm your tempted.
That sounded like that was in the kitchen. That sounded like it was like Robert.
Guys, there's something here with us. We are not alone.
We can hear you walking.
What is that?
I heard tempting.
Well, it certainly seems like the spirits that reside in this home are active. I guess it really makes no difference who the architect of a home is in the eyes of a spirit. My theory is the spirits here are trying to scare this paranormal team into never returning again. Submitted to the Chills Narrator subreddit by Buddy and Rascal. This two-part submission starts with a photo. The Redditor wrote, "Caught this face while me and my mom were putting the boards on our basement windows. Our house was built in 1901. This image got a ton of upvotes with commenters praising its realness and asking for more evidence. The Redditor then posted a video writing, "Here is a video of our basement. I personally don't see anything, but if you guys do, please let me know." In the comments, Wrangler Greedy 2976 thought they saw movement in the crawl space at the 16-second mark.
So you walk down here, and the first thing you're greeted by is our crawl space. I don't know what light to turn on so you can see it better, but that's our crawl space. And then this is the window that the face was in. Don't like this window, but the crawl space isn't much better. There isn't very good vibes back here.
Do you see what this commenter is talking about? Nevertheless, let's hope Buddy and Rascal are able to capture more paranormal evidence in this home. Something is manifesting in this abandoned hospital. YouTuber Lalo Escalante captured this creepy entity on camera during a paranormal investigation. The spirit there does not want to let them in.
Asalto, pues. No mames, güey, yo me voy a la mierda de aquí, güey. No, yo me voy, güey. No, este servicio está más caro.
But it is there. See it lurking at the end of this hallway?
Hola?
When they enter the room, they find nothing, but the spirit continues to play.
So, I can listen to my...
And then they see it again.
¿Está aquí con nosotros? Uy. ¿Hola? La primera, güey. Ojo, olvida. La primera, güey. Cerró la puerta.
But it always somehow evades them. The spirit again disappears.
Hey. Se está subiendo de acá. Bestia, güey. ¿Quién está ahí?
Only to make one last spooky cameo. What does this spirit want? To me, it's difficult to tell if this is even a spirit at all. It looks solid and moves like a human. Then again, it disappears in a way that's unbelievable. It could go either way for me. What do you think is going on here? YouTuber Dark Life says this was the worst EHF find he's ever discovered in an abandoned house. Dennis explains that he didn't bring his tent, so he won't be spending the night.
Ладно, пойду я дальше, не буду терять время. Сегодня я без палатки, поэтому ночевать я здесь не буду оставаться.
Later inside, a spirit confirms that she is there.
Здесь кто-нибудь есть из мира мертвых?
The spirit says that she remembers her relatives.
Помнишь что-нибудь из жизни? Ты что-нибудь помнишь из жизни?
As Dennis is standing in the dark, he accidentally steps on a hornet's nest.
Опа. Я попал.
He leaves a camera down there instead, so as not to be stung, but something spins his camera around. I don't know what did that, but it was not a hornet. YouTube channel KBC Cazadores de Fantasmas investigated the site of a reported unidentified flying object landing.
Tá vindo a mata, João. Não, não é bicho não. Nunca vi bicho não, seus barulhos não.
They come across a burning ember. Was someone recently here? Shortly after, they see something watching them.
Tá lá agora. Tá lá, velho. Mano. Tem alguma coisa ali. Irmão, tô vendo. Não, pera aí, mano. Ela tá focando. Pedro. João, é um olho, João.
They quickly grow frightened.
Correu. Pedro, olha ali pra baixo, Pedro. Cadê a gente? Correu pra cá. Correu pra baixo, mano. Mano, tá mudando de forma, mano.
They find nothing there, but as they're about to call it a day, they hear something again.
Olha, o que é isso?
And then they leave us to guess what's next. I think they were being stalked, but I don't think their stalker was human. We'll have to tune into the next episode to find out. A haunted coffee shop? Never heard of such a thing. But that's what YouTube team The Haunted Side are investigating in Virginia City, Nevada. Their investigation opens with a subtle sound.
Heard that. That was in here.
The spirits then respond to the team's requests via their paranormal devices.
Can you touch that little box right there on the bar?
Ooh.
Just like that. Look.
It's just right.
What is that?
The unexplained noises continue.
No.
Ooh.
Something made a noise right before I did that.
And in the kitchen, they hear a whisper or a breath.
Sounded like a voice.
The voice is heard again, louder this time, but it's unclear what it's saying.
Is that you?
As they're looking on a thermal camera, more unexplained noises resound.
And now it's like over by the door and gone. Whoa. What? And a voice, that's the first voice I've heard come through there.
Next, Patrick feels something touch his neck.
Gotta put the camera down for a second. Ooh. Something like, not a scratch per se, but like.
And just as he's about to speak, the spirits clink their glasses.
Where are you right? Ooh. What was that?
The noises don't end there.
What is that?
Then a bunch of his tech acts up on its own.
I'm holding it down, the SLS closed, the full spectrum camera shut off. That was rolling. Is the IR light on? It opened back up on its own.
What is happening here? As he's trying to figure it out, another clinking sound is heard.
That is... What the
The spirit is even taking requests now.
Can you make a noise like that again, please? Whoa! Whoa!
And then denying them.
What the is that?
In my opinion, despite the ambient noise throughout the clip, there are too many mysterious sounds in this place to deny that it's haunted. But all I'm wondering is, if this spirit serves up a decent cup of boo brew. Have you ever been afraid of your own shadow? What if you know the animated shadow you're seeing is not yours at all? YouTuber Average American 2019 caught this shadow person on video in August of 2018. As he's descending the stairs of this building, a distinctive shadow is seen on the wall, passing in the opposite direction. Then as they descend a further stairwell, a second shadow person appears again. The man recording the footage notices the shadow person in real time. Luckily, he is with friends, so he can simply laugh off the incident. I'm guessing he'd feel differently if he was alone in this encounter. In paranormal lore, shadow people are considered by many to be masses of living humanoid figures. Paranormalists believe they are the presence of a spirit or other entity. While some think shadow people are creatures of evil intent, others consider them neutral, or even helpful extra-dimensional beings. Whatever you think they are, this video will surely make you afraid of the dark. This mysterious creature sighting is rumored to have been caught on the cell phone camera of a farmer somewhere in India who kept hearing scary noises coming from the woods nearby. When he goes to the edge of the forest, all he can hear is crickets. But it's not because he's alone. Far from it. It's because the mysterious creature is silently waiting not too far away. This could be a Wendigo, a skinwalker, or some other creature that's unknown. Assuming that this is not computer effects, I have little doubt that the creature would have descended upon the farmer from the treetops had he not spotted it with his cell phone camera first. At 49 seconds, its mouth is wide open, and it looks ready to pounce. The Crazy Red Show uploaded an odd sky sighting over the Hawaiian island of Maui that I think needs more coverage and further analysis.
I'm filming that, brah. I'm telling you, brah, they're right there. Holy
Lights in the sky have assembled into a strange formation that does not get closer or farther away, simply hovers without a sound. Looking back, the Crazy Red Show says he still has no idea what these lights were, describing the unexplained event as a surreal moment that, if he had to guess, might be a triangulating satellite system being launched. I admit I don't have much of an idea of what a satellite system looks like, but I would assume getting launched involves movement of some kind. Like I said, these unexplained lights in the sky seem stationary and make for a strange sighting caught on tape indeed. Tell me if you think this is something made by us, because a lot of people think this could be video evidence of visitors from someplace far beyond our world. I personally think it could be flares from a government drill, but it's too hard to say. Ghost hunters Bro Sham and iStudio team up for one of the scariest paranormal explorations in Indonesia. This time they're exploring a haunted hospital that gives them chills, literally.
So di depan saya memang hutan belukar.
He senses a drop in temperature. The camera goes out of focus. A shadow stretches out to him and then goes away. When he looks over, it's nowhere to be found. They spend a long time exploring the courtyard for more paranormal activity, but get no further signs. Inside, the hospital is being taken back by the rainforest one room at a time, but plenty of the place remains haunted. The voice is coming from a room that has a drawing of a witch-like head on the wall. There's no other drawings anywhere else in the hospital, just here. Whatever drew this knew what was in here. As they leave this haunted place, they find this figure upright in the forest, face and body wrapped up in a single cloth, not making a single sound. I don't know if it's a ghost or one of them pretending to be a spirit, but it's creepy and they get out of there without getting any closer. I stumbled across a scary elevator video from a Hindi-speaking YouTube channel. This video was the thumbnail image, and yet the video itself was missing on the list. That made me want to track down the original, and guess what? It's every bit as creepy as it looks. What looks like your average couple's argument goes way too far when he sees the door close at 8 seconds. The woman fearfully flinches, and this video is hard to watch because nobody deserves this and there's nowhere for her to go. By the time the elevator stops, her hands are tense and she is completely frazzled from the mistreatment. He goes to get her, but a stranger does the right thing and steps in between them. He immediately backs off and looks down in shame and embarrassment, but probably only for himself at getting caught. Anyone who does this is pretty messed up. I think this relationship is probably over. Anyway, this was originally posted by the Interval House in California, a place for women to get out of relationships like this one. I'm assuming this CCTV video is real, and it's something we really need to eliminate from society however we can. Upbeat Jason puts on a helmet cam and rides around the neighborhood with his friend on BMX bikes. The video is mostly a nice view of the countryside until he comes across some neighbors with aggressive dogs and no leash. Jason tries to get past them instead of taking another way around, and suddenly finds himself flanked on both sides.
Ah! There, go fast!
A dog lunges straight at Jason, jaws snapping. I don't think they make any contact, but I can tell by the sound of their bark that they are ready to attack. Clearly, they would have protected their territory if Jason stuck around, which he does not. But just when he thinks he is a safe distance away, he hears barking behind him and the chase is on again. Eventually, an adult picks them up and quickly puts their bike in the back of their truck before anything else happens. I really hope the two friends never bike past that house again. It's a dreary and overcast day when a YouTuber named Sharby straps a GoPro on his head and heads into an abandoned graveyard with his friend. This eerie graveyard is surrounded by woods and is in the middle of nowhere, as Sharby puts it, and they are hoping to find some adventure. They are checking out old headstones and goofing off when a frightening discovery suddenly changes the mood.
What? Is that a knife, dude?
It appears to be a rusty old crowbar that was perhaps used to dig up graves. Both Sharby and his friend instantly get a bad feeling, and Sharby throws it to the ground, suddenly wanting nothing to do with the ancient object. They keep exploring and eventually come across a grave from 1811. The unshakable feeling of dread just won't go away, and suddenly it begins to snow, which is very odd weather for October. Not too far away, they discovered a battered doll and get seriously freaked out by its mere presence.
Okay, yo, let's get the f out of here, man. Yeah, no, okay, that's it.
Some branches snap in the nearby woods, and they quickly flee before they can find out what was near them. This graveyard in Michigan defies the laws of gravity and replaces them with the laws of the paranormal. There is a specific tree at the bottom of a hill that many locals believe is haunted. You can put your car into neutral at the top of the hill and the car will roll down as normal. Here's a quick demonstration.
And now, as you can see, with my foot off the pedal and the car in neutral, we're rolling downhill. That is what you would expect.
But when you pull up to the cursed tree and put your car in neutral, This is what will happen each and every time.
We're rolling backwards up the hill. My feet are off the pedal. Car is still in neutral.
A strange force appears to be causing this man's car to roll backwards and climb a semi-steep inclination. Not only that, but I think I hear a strange voice in the video too. Listen to this and tell me if you hear someone say something that sounds like the name Sarah. This scary highway encounter would have easily gone unnoticed forever, if not for a dashcam recording. Pay attention to the bottom right and you'll see a blurry figure slip under the car in a matter of seconds. Pause the video and you'll see the undeniable outline of a girl from the waist up. She appears to be wearing a white dress and staring ahead with a gray face. I guess this could be light reflecting off of the pavement. But this also really does look like the outline of a person who was once living. Maybe every so often they appear in the exact same location where they sadly lost their life years ago. This footage comes from India, where a woman is seen cleaning up at a sink. Suddenly a dark figure appears behind her and gives her a hard shove from behind. She turns around only to find the room empty and hurries away. Is there a giant panda lurking nearby? Posted to the Ghosts subreddit, Flower Sliders writes, took a walk on an abandoned road in rural Japan, saw this, not sure what to make of it. Local friend said he'd never seen anything like it before. The video shows a thick stalk of bamboo shaking dramatically, amongst other bamboo stalks.
Okay, that's weird, right? Why is it moving?
Yeah. Can we go? Why is it doing?
You guys not see that down there?
What?
Right there.
I'm not gonna look.
Okay, why is it still moving?
The rest of the stalks are still, so what is causing this one to shake? Some in the comments think it's the Kadama, spirits in Japanese folklore that inhabit trees. Others think it could be an animal feasting on its roots or burrowing beneath the stalk. Spirits or not, it sure looks creepy. And to think before watching this video, a walk in rural Japan seems so peaceful to me.
I'm legitimately out wanting to go. I don't understand. I'm gonna look this up.
Oh, maybe there's some. Wait. Still, no, it's not. It's cut there, so they shouldn't be.
This video will definitely make you want to double check all of your wiring in your home. Eric McGregor takes one look at this discolored brown outlet and identifies a major problem.
It's catching on fire.
Amber sparks shoot out of the middle of a frayed wire that is still hot and fully charged. It looks like the wall is going to catch on fire at any moment, especially here 23 seconds into the video. Eric calmly unscrews the outlet and plucks it free from the wall, which in turn trips the breaker and turns off all the power. I don't know if this is the safest solution, so you definitely shouldn't consider this video to be a tutorial of any kind, but his strategy does seem to work in this specific instance. Sometimes these kind of faulty wires can go undetected for months or even years. All it takes in the meantime is one random spark, especially late at night, to change everything forever. Throngs of people gather in the mountain province of Guizhou, China, to witness strange trumpet sounds in the sky. As you listen, tell me what this is and why it would happen way out in the middle of nowhere. The group hears 4 strange noises in a row, and yet none of them actually sees anything scary in the sky. But that's not all. The phenomenon known as sky trumpets is only the first phase. Soon the mountain range is filled with the sounds of a giant unknown creature, an enormous wild cat that's heard all over but seen by no one. And the final phase sounds like 2 giant creatures clashing. There's a clear victor, and one of them sounds like they are falling from the sky. Modern science cannot explain what's behind these noises, which makes you wonder if there's any semblance of truth behind the various ancient mythologies that speak of similar events. Mysterious, unexplained lights were recently sighted over Brazil, just north of Rio de Janeiro. The diagonal formation of strange lights stretches into the night sky and blinks in and out of sight. It's not a constellation because there are no stars in the sky, just these strange, unexplained lights that slowly move to the right and glow a fierce red when the camera zooms in. As the camera moves across the city to show there are no stars, they see more strange lights in the sky. These ones closer to Earth, a large column of lights at 56 seconds that should not be there at all. It looks like it could be a building, but according to them it's not. More lights seem to drop and lower to the ground, but it's too far away to tell. When he zooms out, he is surprised to find most of the skylights are already gone. This happened on June 24th of 2020, and if you're wondering why I was never reported on the news, maybe it's because we were never supposed to find out. Some friends practice soccer and talk about life when they cross paths with something that will change all of theirs forever. Caught on camera is what they claim to be a strange goblin creature clambering across the kitchen floor. Only one of them looks directly at it and he drops to the ground and covers his eyes like they burn. The creature, which barely comes up to waist level, runs out from behind this area behind the refrigerator. They lose sight of the goblin in a dark room, and the encounter is over, at least for now. Here's even more reason to not build your house too close to the ocean. Posted to Twitter by @CapeHatteras_NPS. An unoccupied house was captured on video collapsing into the sea off Rodenthade, North Carolina in early May of this year. The footage shows the two-story house on stilts standing precariously near the aggressive waves as the wind whips through. Then its front stilts give way, collapsing the house headfirst into the sea. It lands flat and is pulled out to sea for a moment by the tide, but the waves quickly push it back in. After a while, it comes to a standstill on the shore, looking shoddy and dilapidated. Reports say that this is the second unoccupied house to collapse on this day at Cape Hatteras. This is not a good day for those homeowners. While walking down an empty street at night, this man encountered not one but 3 witches. Posted to the very spooky video subreddit by Enrique Glue, he hears them before he sees them. The witches are making these horror movie noises that are creepy in and of themselves. As he walks, he spies this figure off to his right. He then makes a run for it, but their scary wails follow him. Next, he spies this figure to the left. He continues running as the screaming gets crazier. And lastly, another figure in white coming from this alleyway to the right. Many in the comments think the noise sounds like cats or an upset husky. Others say this is obviously the call for the witch meeting. What do you think is happening here? I can't imagine it's anything good. A parenting channel called the Mommy Wayopedia has thousands of subscribers who are looking for heartwarming family videos. Paranormal content is not what they seek, and I don't think she's playing around when she uploaded a rather realistic ghost sighting video for fans to analyze. So here's the background story on this video. She's been seeing some weird things on CCTV camera for the past week or so, but never had the phone nearby to record and doesn't doesn't have a memory card for the camera, so she waited near the CCTV monitor for a couple of days for the paranormal entity to return, and this creepy sighting of a mysterious figure is what she has since caught on camera. The mother tries to keep the fear out of her voice as she tells her son to keep reading a book out loud.
Oh, you read the book, baby.
Okay.
She doesn't want to scare him. She can't take her eyes off what she sees. Seated on the ground facing the courtyard on the first floor is this exquisitely eerie ghost sighting. A woman with long hair and a gown. She's across from the main entrance waiting for them to come out. The see-through figure does not move, but look closely and at 10 seconds, you'll see this object across from the ghost is moving all by itself, or maybe it's the wind. The mommy Wayopedia has no idea what this ghost wants from her or her family, and is seeking advice on what to do next. I would say this is a camera glitch, but she's been seeing it on different monitors across different places, so it appears to be an actual ghost. With that in mind, the only thing left to do is either confront it or hope it goes away, and I'm not sure if either is going to get her any peace. When strange things start happening inside your house, it's probably for a reason. Posted to the Chills Narrator subreddit by the Dude 101. This video was originally published to YouTube by Truthfinder30330 in April of 2020. According to the title, paranormal occurrences have been happening in this man's home. The first odd thing you notice is that when the man walks into his living room, the door is shut while he's arranging his gaming console and things on his entertainment center. The door opens somehow. He heads over to look outside and check it out. After finding no one, he returns inside, and the door slams shut. He goes back outside, but there's no one there, no one inside either. As he's looking around outside again, the door slams shut and he's locked out. He peers inside, but there appears to be nothing. Now he has to go around to get back inside his house. He lifts his camera, catching himself in the sights, while also capturing something over his shoulder. What is that? As he continues walking, he says hello to someone on the street. He's at his front door again, which he unlocks with a key, and immediately this happens. Absolutely terrifying. Bet you can't handle this video. If you like to scrounge for snacks at night, this video will have you second guessing that midnight snack. Posted to Reddit by Better Than Better, the home security footage reveals a dark and seemingly empty kitchen at night. Around 30 seconds in, a man trudges in and opens the fridge to get a snack. While the man is standing at the fridge, drinking something, watch the teddy bear on the kitchen table. It starts moving ever so slightly, bobbing up and down, but that's not all. When the man closes the fridge and turns to leave, the baby walker next to the table does this, confused about whether he saw what he thinks he saw. The man doesn't take his eyes off the baby walker as he leaves the room, but he returns a short time later, his wife by his side, presumably to explain what happened. As he's indicating that the baby walker moved of its own accord, the teddy bear falls over, or rather seems to fly backwards. As the wife jumps out of the room and the man approaches the bear, two of the chairs tucked under the table spring out simultaneously. If that isn't enough to scare you out of your own home, I don't know what is. I believe dealing with an incident like this is something 99% of people couldn't handle. These friends are staying at a hotel when they see flashing lights coming from the bathroom mirror and hear rumbling noises on the other side. It sounds like a classic haunted hotel setting at first, but when they take the bathroom mirror and flip it around, they see two holes that look to me like someone was spying on them.
Scratches here and here that you can see directly through the mirror. Directly through.
But this situation gets way more intense than just a peephole. Much to their surprise and horror, There was also a rectangular hole cut into the wall leading directly into the next room over. Whoever cut this hole could literally climb through the wall anytime they wanted to, day or night. They could silently watch the group in the mirror to know when they were leaving, then climb through to mess with their stuff, or worse still, they would know when you were about to go to bed, and could enter while they were all asleep to do who knows what. I don't know how any of this ended, but I do know their lives could have been at risk if they didn't discover this in time. I think this situation is real, because I don't think they would destroy a hotel wall just to make a video. Hopefully they called the police and caught whoever invaded their privacy. A YouTube channel called Mysterious Oklahoma received this video from a subscriber who claims to have kept seeing something out of the corner of their eye in one spot of their house, so they set up a camera to record. What they capture is a fast-moving creature they refer to only as the Thing, which apparently moves so fast the camera has trouble keeping up. When you pause on it, you can see a very small figure that looks to be slightly lower resolution than the rest of the video, so it might not be real. This footage was taken by an American tourist who was visiting Romania. He was just walking around a local zoo on his own, checking out the sights when he hears about a new attraction that is unlike any of the others. He is ushered into a dark farmhouse along with some other curious observers. Almost immediately, the tone of the video changes from skeptical to serious. It's hard to say exactly how, but something just feels wrong all of a sudden. You can hear the villagers talking among themselves, excitedly as they push past. Farm animals are making noises as the American makes his way deeper inside. This section is very dark now, and even though the Romanians are speaking in a different language, you can tell that people are sounding worried and concerned as they come closer and closer to the main attraction. Finally, the American tourist sees it for himself. Sitting across from them on a straw floor is what appears to be a white humanoid creature with black eyes and a wide gap for a mouth. It makes a series of tortured gurgling sounds and then charges towards its cage as the video quickly ends. It's hard to tell if this is a real creature or a man in a suit because the lighting is very dim. At the same time, Romania is a very rural country, and anything could be lurking in the woods. Maybe someone really did capture this thing and drag it back to society to be gawked at by paying crowds. If this thing is real, then the poor humanoid sounds like it's been severely mistreated and probably needs help. Reddit user Expear Seekers took this video late one night and shared it to the subreddit Humanoid Encounters, not entirely sure of what exactly he saw while filming. In the video, the Reddit user continuously clicks a light on and off, seeming to be playing some sort of a trick on someone or something, but what exactly does he see? Although it may be hard to see, if you look hard enough, you should be able to see it. Right there.
You get it?
Yeah.
Right there. Someone or something is just peeking its head past this rock here, trying to obviously stay hidden, and as soon as it spots them, it takes off.
You get it?
Yeah.
I think they just capture it that one time, which I also feel adds authenticity to this video. But what I wish they would have done is actually go and check out this rock from the other side to see if whatever it was they caught on camera was still hiding there. Right there. Just for a split second. Is caught on camera. Unfortunately, the video ends just a few moments later, and we are not given any sort of explanation as to what exactly was hiding behind the rock that night. The uploader states that he believes it could be related to a Native American myth, but is not entirely sure, which is why he wants viewers to give their opinion of what they think it is. So what do you think this strange figure is? Over on the r/ghosts subreddit, a user named Cam Sunkissed shares a video of a home surveillance recording on his front porch while a pizza delivery driver drops off the order at the house. Seems fairly normal right now, but this simple pizza delivery turns into something much more terrifying in just a matter of seconds.
Why was the...
Very clearly, you can just hear somebody's voice. It's almost like a whisper, and it doesn't seem to catch the pizza delivery man's attention. It's just very bizarre and out of place here. I'll just play it one more time. Just listen very, very closely. Amazingly, it doesn't even seem as if the pizza delivery driver even hears anything, so maybe this bizarre sounding voice was only audible once listening to the recording and not in person. That would definitely explain why the driver has no reaction whatsoever as soon as the voice starts speaking, but I would like to imagine that if he did hear it, he would be a little bit freaked out and would probably quickly drop the order off and leave immediately. One commenter says it sounds like perhaps Spanish, and he thinks the voice could be saying, "Do you listen to me?" Of course, this is just speculation, so take it with a grain of salt, but either way, this is one voice you certainly wouldn't want to hear on your security camera. Maxim enters another terrifying witch's house in this paranormal investigation. As soon as he walks in, the demon lets him know he is there. But it's when he lights up these demon dolls with ritualistic symbols drawn on them that he faces the real terror. While these may not be voodoo dolls, it certainly seems that Maxim just lit up the devil. The awful sounds coming from the spirit box seems to be coming straight from the fiery depths below. You'd think Satan would be used to a bit of fire. Michael Jackson may have made a spirited cameo in YouTuber Kelsey Davies' adventure in the Forest Lawn Cemetery. Accompanied by Omar Gosh TV, Kelsey enters the Los Angeles Cemetery, where the King of Pop was laid to rest in 2009.
Drawn to over here, like I just felt like I needed to look on these walls, and all of a sudden, he was sighing, and Margaret, which is so creepy.
This is what happened during the team's visit.
This is Michael Jackson. Close by. Hey, are you here, Michael?
Is Michael have you met him? Do you know if Michael Jackson's here?
After that, Michael began to make music.
Is there someone here with us?
Using dowsing rods to communicate, Kelsey gets a reading.
It's moving a lot.
Look.
Oh.
Get it. Are you the... Yeah. I'm so curious.
While continuing to speak to Margaret, she confirms that the spirit is not related to Michael.
Hey, I got a question for Margaret. Are you related to Michael Jackson?
We were.
Does that mean no?
No.
Okay.
Kelsey then really starts to become one with Michael.
My heart hurts.
Oh.
Like a heart attack. This person. How did Michael die? I know.
Heart failure.
Heart failure?
Cardiac arrest.
That was his.
That was his cause.
And at last, Michael reveals himself.
Is this person here, is your name Michael? Can you cross the dowsing rods in my hand for yes and open them for no?
They are not alone.
Ooh.
It turns out something else is here.
Are you Michael Jackson?
Oh, it is.
Does Michael have company?
Are you a demon?
Maybe he's playing out Thriller in the afterlife. What is moving in the darkness on this foggy road? The YouTuber thinks he's spotted a skinwalker. He gets out of his car to take a closer look, but when he does, skinwalker or not, you'd better run. During a mid-morning flight from Canada over the Appalachian Mountains in October of 2010, this passenger captured something mysterious from the air. Watch carefully. Can you see the reflections of light in the clouds? There also appears to be a disc-like shape that emerges from the clouds at the lower half of the screen. Watch again closely. Is this a genuine, unidentified flying object caught on camera? If not, what do you think this could possibly be? If you've ever had something in your home act out of character, then you might feel Alex Huff's pain. The TikToker appears to be doing an everyday makeup tutorial when her wardrobe starts to creak open.
I use the Milani 05 Soleil. So we're gonna try that on. And
then suddenly slams shut and bursts open again. The room's light above goes out, and then, as she's peering into the wardrobe, that light falls dim as well. Alex posted a second video showing that no one is inside or outside the wardrobe, and yet it's creaking again. In the third video, she's getting her room saged to get rid of whatever evil entity lies within. Burning sage is said to provide a spiritual cleansing for the home. Hopefully it did rid of the bad energy, and Alex can go back to doing her makeup tutorials in peace. Based on the events happening here though, I wouldn't be surprised if that house is legitimately haunted. A creepy figure was spotted at an old villa near a graveyard. Published by Scary and Mysterious Stuff in April of 2022. What would you do if you encountered this figure in the night? Walking past the graveyard, the cameraman enters the grounds of a villa that is said to have been abandoned 2 decades ago. After the sudden passings of 3 family members, villagers claim to hear sounds emanating from the place at night. Rumors of dark magic cast in the area also make these grounds forbidden. As he's exploring them anyway, he captures a shadow figure walking off. He walks after him but doesn't see anyone. Later, he hears crying. When he opens the door, he finds this holy terror. Can he escape it, or will this sound always be with him? I think this is the type of event that buries deep in the psyche. While out kayaking on Yale Lake, this man soon realizes he isn't alone. Published by Crypto D-Nut in June of 2017, the kayaker captures bubbles surfacing from the bottom of the lake, and not just a couple, like enough where the lake looks like a hot tub with the jets on. The kayaker films the strange bubble patch and remarks that there's no current.
Just bubbles coming from the bottom of the lake. No current.
Then he puts his camera underwater. You can see the bubbles floating up, but you can't see the source. Back out of the water, something enormous erupts in the lake. A huge bubble breaks, right where the YouTuber's friend was kayaking a moment before.
What the What the What the just happened?
Leaves and mud have surfaced, and the guys say it stinks. What is this? Is there a lake monster in these waters? Commenter Stephenopoulos likely has the explanation. He writes in the comments that this is concentrated gas that is sometimes produced in anaerobic environments and can suffocate you when released. Others add it was likely a methane pocket burst built up by plant matter decomposing at the bottom of the lake. Opoulos warns if you ever see that, get as far away as possible. Well, not a lake monster. The reality is still very frightening. A large rat finds itself trapped in what looks to be the corner of a kitchen. It appears to be at the mercy of the man recording, who to be fair seems to want to cause it no harm to begin with, but as Marcus Goodiron zooms out, you can see to your horror that this is not in a kitchen at all, nor is it on the floor. I guess a large rat climbing your wall isn't exactly the happiest of endings, but it is most definitely unexpected, not to mention a good reason to give the walls a good scrub down. We've all been there. It's a stormy night. Every sound in the house is an evil entity vying for your soul. That must have been what this man was feeling when he saw this happen in his dining room on a stormy night. The clip shows a man enter his dining room, which appears completely normal. Every chair in place. He enters his laundry room, then casts the camera down the stairs. It appears that something must have happened to cause him to search his house. He says hello down the stairs. Is someone or something there? He decides to go into his basement to investigate. The wooden steps are incredibly rickety. As he's nearing the bottom, a terrifying racket is heard upstairs. He runs for his life, only to find his kitchen chairs precariously stacked up, balanced one on top of the other. The dining room light is swinging around. The shot is still, as the man crosses the room and stands frozen in fear at this ominous sight. The overhead light continues to swing, and nothing is there. There's something especially uneasy about the stacking of this man's furniture. Part of that uneasiness comes from the fact that no human could have done this particular building job in the short period of time that the man was away. Who do you think did it? Or what? When a YouTuber named Blake Smith's Gaming Blitz claims to have been hearing paranormal sounds from his basement, his followers suggest that he leaves a camera downstairs and record what happens. He takes their advice, and this is what his phone supposedly picks up. The video goes on like that for over a minute, but he comes back and gets his phone. If this video is fake, then I personally don't know where he got these effects from. It doesn't sound like any movie I've seen or any game I've ever played. If you recognize his sounds from somewhere, or if you think this is real, then I definitely want to get your opinion. Here's another video from the same channel so you can hear it some more.
Hello?
If you've ever been down a mine shaft, you know how eerie it can be. So imagine hearing these sounds while you're down there. YouTuber Retro Electroville published this footage in June of 2011 of a mine shaft in Del Sur, California, in the Mine Canyon area, writing, "We come across an open shaft with creepy sounds coming from it." Creepy is right.
Actually, I think it's on the right.
The sound is a strange hissing noise that seems to be coming from deeper within the shaft. Of course, whatever is making the creepy hiss is out of view, so we can only guess as to what the source might be. Is it a phantom? A pile of snakes? Despite knowing the true source, the sound still gives us goosebumps. Security cameras often capture things we'd rather not see. This footage, posted by Redditor JHood3119, reveals a creepy-looking creature ambling in the vicinity of this upstate New York security camera. A friend installed a security camera because his dog kept freaking out for no reason, JHood writes. And it seems the dog was freaking out for a reason. As you can see, a figure passes into view, moving strangely and seemingly wearing a headlamp and holding a flashlight. But then halfway across the snow-packed yard, the figure completely vanishes, although a flashlight beam still appears at the right side of the screen. What could this be? Well, some in the comments of this thread consider the possibility of the supernatural, saying the figure's strange walking and eye shine is creepy and inhuman. But others are not having it. Human or paranormal, what do you think? Based on the dog's reaction, there's definitely something there. When a scary video isn't self-explanatory, it's time to break out some armchair detective work. But even if you're Sherlock or Enola Holmes, you'll have a tough time connecting the dots of this video. Published to YouTube in March of 2012, Ghosts Are Real 66 writes, "Been taking video of local cemeteries for a while and examining them from frame to frame. Found the image of what looks like a ghost of a young boy from around the early 1900s by the way he is dressed. The video was taken at Kinder Cemetery, established in 1902. While scanning some tombstones at a distance, a distinct flash is caught on camera. While zooming in, you can make out a figure, although you can't really distinguish its dress. YouTuber Manly says that he's wearing suspenders and a white shirt, but that's up for interpretation. Some think it's a reflection in a car window, others are sure it's the paranormal, and I'm leaning towards the latter." A YouTuber named Nugget Noggin is exploring an old abandoned home one evening somewhere in the deep south. He's been here only once before, and it gave him such a strange and foreboding feeling that he couldn't take it anymore and he had to leave. Now he's mustered up enough courage to come back and check out the rest of the house. He wants to get up to the second floor.
Alright, I got this little door here to keep the air from rising up, I reckon. I don't know. Could be somebody up there. Oh man, somebody's standing on it. Cause I sure can't lift it up.
Much to his dismay, he finds a door has been laid over the top of the stairway so that nobody can get through. He tries to push on the horizontal door. One moment, it feels as if a heavy force is standing on top of it, and the next moment, the weight is suddenly gone, and Nugget Noggin can get upstairs. Some rooms give him the same weird feeling that made him flee before. He remembers that the front door was kicked in. Possibly someone broke in. Maybe a family was living here long ago, and things did not end well for them.
Won't be able to sleep. Look, there's a light on in there. It's odd. There's a mirror. You know what time it is?
Nugget Noggin doesn't find much else and leaves. When he's reviewing the footage, however, he does notice what could be the face of a small girl. Take a look at this picture and tell me if it looks like anything paranormal to you. Okay, so this isn't a video per se, but it was too eerie to pass up. This was recorded around 10 years ago in a home in Philadelphia. The family kept hearing noises coming from the basement, so they decided to hire a paranormal team who placed a recorder down there and waited. Nothing happened for 3 days, and then at 3:12 a.m. they recorded this. The horrible recording continues to go on and on, seemingly forever. No video evidence was ever produced, but these possibly paranormal screams will continue to live on YouTube for years to come. A YouTuber named Simo Vlogs explores an abandoned building, which he and his friends stumble across a room on the top tile floor with upside down humans. They are taped many times over, and there looks to be no breathing holes. This room looks like some kind of art storage room, so maybe these are just projects. I'm not sure why they would be wrapped and hanged up like this, so if you're an artist and know what's going on here, be sure to let me know. I'm pretty sure that this video isn't real, because this room would probably stink way too bad to go near, and plus the smile doesn't exactly look like the face of someone who just came across a psycho's secret stash, but that's just my opinion. I never really thought about it before, but piranha tanks like this one at the London Zoo have to be kept clean, and the only way to get it done right is by hand. This diver carefully scrapes a cleaning tool across the glass with his back turned to a school of flesh-chomping fish, as if his life is not at risk. It's just another day on the clock for him, but an absolute nightmare for me and everyone else watching. And look at that, no gloves, no fear. So basically I want to know why he isn't getting shredded right now. Some people in the comments are saying that piranhas won't chomp unless they smell red in the water, but I was under the impression that they tend to go after almost anything on sight. Maybe these ones are on a well-timed feeding schedule and are therefore simply not hungry. Are there paranormal happenings recurring in your home? This YouTuber can relate. Published to YouTube by Youngboy Lloyd in March of 2020, Lloyd asks viewers for help as he believes there's a ghost in his home. He shows video proof across a series of 3 clips. The first part shows him watching something on TV when a plant falls over on its own accord and rolls off the entertainment center. When Lloyd moves to pick it up, it falls over again and he gets scared off by something unseen. In the next clip, he takes action, burning sage to get rid of the ghostly presence, and as he does so, the chair at the end of the table starts moving. Lloyd doesn't notice at first, so the ghost forces him to, aggressively flinging the chair onto its side. In the last video, Lloyd says he's not going to allow a ghost to take over his house. As he's talking, a cabinet door opens behind him in the next room. A pot on the counter can be seen falling to the floor. Lloyd jumps up from his seat and tells the ghost to leave.
Eve, I think my one with up.
Did the ghost listen? I don't think so. This bar ghost is one angry customer. Posted to the Chills Narrator subreddit by Zazie Maleth. The redditor claims this clip is video proof that the restaurant she once worked at was haunted. The clip shows security footage shot from behind the bar of the restaurant. A close-up reveals a glass sliding of its own accord and then appearing as though it simply hops right off the counter, smashing onto the floor. Nothing and no one caused it to fall. Zazie adds to the perplexity of this writing. The glass that fell was one of those wine glasses that are heavier on the bottom to prevent it from falling over, and was sitting on a non-slip rubber mat used commonly in bars. Just one more reason to call in sick. A mysterious robed figure, an abandoned home. This clip has me on edge. Published by Kisa Weba in April of 2022, and originally published by YouTuber Hisham Al-Daimak. This video is trending in the Spanish-speaking YouTube community. The footage shows a group of paranormal investigators exploring an abandoned home. As they look toward one room, one of the crew starts shouting. The cameraman turns around and finds this behind him.
Bismillah. Atla.
The robed figure walks slowly away from them, not responding to their repeated calls. It's unclear if this is a paranormal figure who appeared there, a jinn perhaps, or if it's one of their own crew fallen under a trance. Is this a possession or an apparition? Tell me what you think in the comments. A YouTuber named Gothboy Prince is playing with a Ouija board that refuses to cooperate with the camera. Apparently the pointer moves on its own, but only when he's not recording.
Hello?
Knocking on the Ouija board isn't the only way he shows disrespect. He tries to badmouth the spirit into moving the pointer on camera for proof.
I think you're a coward. That's what I think it is. I think you're nothing but a coward.
Less than 10 seconds later, he gets a silent reply. At one point, Gothboy Prince hears a noise and looks up. You can see that he's sitting in bed with the Ouija board on his lap. There's absolutely no room for anyone to be controlling the pointer with a magnet from underneath, so that explanation is out. You can also see that he is alone and no one is in front of him pulling a string. As if all of this weren't already bizarre enough.
You see this?
The pointer moves too frequently and in too many different directions to be done with a string, which by the way would be clearly visible from this close of a distance away. Even paranormal skeptics can't explain how this pointer was able to move with no one nearby, but if you think you can, I would really like to hear the real reason. A man has a rather big problem in a small room. His lights are turning on and off on their own, and he can't figure out why. Across from him is a light switch that he is standing nowhere near. Not that pressing the light switch makes much of a difference. The light keeps turning on and off in rhythmic intervals regardless, like something's trying to communicate to him its presence. After 5 minutes it finally stops through no doing of its own, and it never happens again. He shows every wall except the one to his immediate left, so perhaps the second person is standing by a dimmer switch to fake this video. But what's weird is how, almost 2 years ago to the very day, he caught something on camera that was bizarre. A door that kept opening on its own.
Still a bit uncomfortable. Look at that face.
No one is visible on the other side of the door when it oddly opens. Like the lights, the door only did this for a single day and never again. Was a ghost to blame? A group of kids are hanging out at a park in New York when a much older man strolls through their group no less than 3 times. In his left hand is what appears to be some kind of small bag with a tightly wrapped camera lens sticking out the middle. The camera is held low and pointed at the teens as he walks by, and I could be wrong, but it looks like he might be trying to stare at someone out of the corner of his eye without alerting their suspicions. Finally, after standing in the middle of the crowd without moving for over 30 seconds, one of the teens calls him out for his allegedly shady behavior. Watch how quickly he bolts and tell me if you think he was up to something no good.
This is well, just you're really out there. I don't know that.
This video is undoubtedly real, and all we can do is hope this man was eventually brought to justice. Most people run away from monsters, but these 2 friends seem to be chasing one down. The creature looks to be very wide and is either covered in matted black fur or wearing huge black robes. I can't exactly tell which one. What I do notice are the impossibly large feet, and even though it's kind of hard to see, towards the end of this clip I can barely make out a gigantic white hand that is almost the size of its entire body. The creature's proportions make absolutely no sense, and when it turns around to defend itself against them, the front looks even more horrifying. Look again and you'll see the creature has a giant gray face that is twisted and warped beyond recognition. This still frame shows what I am talking about. Let me highlight the 2 eyes and open mouth so you can see it better. And of course, its oversized, gnarled hand is reaching out for them both. The Malaysian district of Sabak Bernam recently had an odd occurrence take over the entire village in November of 2020. That's when residents began to hear this sound. Phantom knocking at odd hours day and night. It's kind of hard to see through the glass, but let me put it to you this way. If I can tell there is a white car parked out front, then I definitely should be able to see the outline of whoever is pounding hard enough to rattle this door, and yet nothing's there. This video and others like it remain unexplained. If a whole village were faking this, then surely at least one person would have accidentally confessed by now. Months later, nobody has. Based on this paranormal evidence, I'd say something actually appears to be haunting this village. Creepy creatures creeping in the night, not exactly something you'd want to watch in the dark, but this YouTuber published this footage in August of 2016. The footage shows what looks to be a picnic area late at night. Trees border the area, lights shine beyond, and shadows fall to give you an extreme sense of trepidation and fear. That's when the creepy thing starts to creep out from behind a tree trunk. The humanoid features bony shoulders, a round head, and elongated arms that touch the ground, as if it's walking on all fours. The body is hunched over, the knees bent, and its movements are slow at first and then sudden. It looks like a praying mantis if the insect were humanoid. One YouTuber suggests that it looks like an old crippled man with crutches, while another thinks it's the legendary rake. What do you think this creepy creature could be? This not-so-smart intruder's attempted entering was thwarted by a much smarter doorbell. When this stranger attempted to break into this home in Sydney Hills District, where a woman and her child were alone inside, the man is captured on several security cameras, staking out the premises, ringing the doorbell and waiting, before peering into the windows and trying the door handle several times.
Hello?
Hello? Hi, are you...
Wrong house, hello? Yeah, no, it's wrong house, sorry.
When the homeowner finally responds to the man's attempted break-in via the Ring doorbell, the homeowner's voice obviously scares the man, who quickly rushes off apologizing and claiming he had the wrong house. There's nothing better than outsmarting an intruder. Hopefully he didn't try again later. What if that figure you sometimes see out of the corner of your eye is really there? Posted to the Ghosts subreddit by Malachi James. The clip shows the pregnant woman's blanketed belly, and in the background a crying kitten. Across the screen are the words, "My heart is actually breaking." But it's at the very end of the clip that your heart doesn't break but starts beating rapidly. Redditor Quality Spookimi sums up, "I didn't notice the head popping up at the end of the video the first time I watched this. What the heck is that?" The Redditor says her sister didn't even notice the shadow creeping up until she watched the clip back. The Redditor says that her sister is fine, nothing bad happened to her, and no further weirdness occurred in her last week at this house. She did mention, however, that she felt heaviness there, like someone or something was stalking her. Another Redditor, Link Nadeserico, also points out the glowing pinpricks in the darkened doorway at the beginning of the clip, like eyes in the darkness. Well, some call fake on this video due to the abrupt ending. As many note, this was a Snapchat, which may be the reason for the seemingly premature cut. Others think it's a ghost of the former pet, which the Redditor has noted was a cat with black fur. Sounds suspiciously superstitious. This creepy footage, shot in Portugal, of a strange beast that has some wondering if the chupacabra is actually real, and if this footage is finally proof of its existence. What's the chupacabra? According to Wikipedia, the chupacabra is a legendary creature in the folklore of parts of the Americas, with its first purported sighting reported in Puerto Rico. Chupacabra literally translates to goat sucker in Spanish, so when this creature was caught hunkering through the desert, it certainly turned some heads. The clip only lasts a few seconds before the odd mannish creature disappears behind a bush. Some see the video as definitive proof that the chupacabra is real, while others question the video's authenticity. Still others believe it's not the chupacabra. It's just your average everyday CGI. Whatever the case, it has been viewed thousands of times, so it certainly struck up interest. While hiking in the forest at night, TikToker Isaiah Harris 333 and his cousin, Wyoming 6.0, encountered something truly terrifying. First, they hear it.
You didn't hear that? There's something under there. Bro.
And when they investigated the tunnel under the bridge, this is what they found. What was that? It looks like an extraterrestrial creature to me, and one I wouldn't get an inch closer to. Isaiah tagged me in a second post, in which the creature seems to be stalking them. Do you see it peeking from around the tree? Here's a closer look. I'm not sure if this is the same creature as the one under the bridge, or if the wilderness of Wyoming is chock full of terror, but most in the comments think the cousins are dealing with a rake.
Oh my gosh. Dude, hold on. Let me go first.
I tend to agree, either that or a skinwalker. Shared by YouTuber Random Videos 5, a supposed witch was captured on camera approaching the security guard in the street late at night. Let's see it unfold. As he nears the wailing sound, he starts reciting a prayer, and then he sees her. The witch comes toward him, wailing. To me, she appears to walk very stiffly and has an uncanny narrow form. The security guard backs away as she continues to bellow. I think this is a real witch. I've never seen or heard anything like it before. And what I really want to know is if she is cursing him. And are we cursed too by proxy? We better say sorry to this witch before we're cursed next. These books appear to be flying off the shelf all by themselves at an Alamo gift shop after hours. It's hard to tell if they were truly pulled out by a ghost, or if someone was just pushing them from the other side of the shelf and playing a prank. We'll never know for sure, but if this were to happen anywhere in Texas, then a historical site like the Alamo would be a very likely location. Ghost Hunter Emax has some of the creepiest videos in the small but growing Japanese ghost hunter community. Videos with scary moments like this one that will haunt you for a long time. He's exploring an abandoned hospital when he senses something paranormal is near, a ghost in the same hallway. It's just there 1 second at 10 minutes 16 seconds. And within 2 seconds, it's being pushed back 3 feet into the closet. Did he really see a wheelchair move by itself while exploring a haunted hospital? Or did someone pull it from off camera? The video looks convincing, but I guess we'll never know. Daniel lives way out in the country, and rather than paying someone to remove the leaves around his house, he chooses to burn them instead. He stands at the edge of a controlled fire and takes this quick video.
Oh yeah, lots of fire. Oh yeah, lots of fire.
Off the distance, a two-legged creature about the same size as Daniel sprints away in the opposite direction as fast as it can. Keep in mind that Daniel lives out in the Oklahoma wilderness and has no neighbors. I really can't think of any forest animal that looks like this, so maybe the controlled burn accidentally flushed out a rare humanoid creature. With no other footage of the creature, we will probably never know what it truly is. The Paranormal Voyages team is staying overnight at America's scariest motel. Will they get any sleep? Let's find out. Outside, they come across children's graves.
Is that you out there making noise?
When they ask the spirits if they're there, the response is chilling.
That was a kid. That was a kid.
And the follow-up is even creepier.
There's a witch. It said there's a witch.
My life battery is dying quick.
Yours?
Fully charged.
But just when you think it can't get worse,
Can the kid come forward and talk to us? Tell us your name. Don't be shy.
Where is the kid? You said that was a kid that I heard.
a little later, Celia feels something.
Touch me?
What?
What are you touching my hair for?
Touch your head?
Yes.
No.
Yes, you did.
I didn't.
Yes, you touched the top of my head.
That was your bed on. That was your bed
You
on.
touched my head.
Back in their room, the haunting follows.
To see if you catch it sometimes.
Feels like they're pacing, kinda.
Yeah, he needs to tell things.
It sounds like it hasn't happened to us before. We've even slept in the room on the second floor, and we've heard walking on the roof.
When they finally get some sleep, a series of strange events happen. The water turning on and the bed sheet lifting has me convinced that this place is truly haunted. What do you think? Would you stay here? Posted to the r/chills narrator subreddit, Redditor The Cheese is Moist writes, if I'm tripping, then don't come at me in the comments, but is that star changing colors? In the video, he zooms in on a star in the distance. The closer the zoom, the more clear it is that the star is rapidly changing colors. I've never seen a star ever do this before. Is it a satellite? Or is there something more nefarious at play here? It seems these poltergeists have left their group project until the last minute. Published by Amar Ajola in September of 2014. This scary video caught some paranormal activity in a computer lab in Delhi's Karkardoma court. The footage shows a man sitting in a computer lab. He appears to be waiting to capture some strange activity on his camera, and then it happens. One computer monitor turns on, after another, after another. They each turn on in their own time across the lab. No one else is in the room, so the mysterious behavior of the monitors is unnerving. Some think it's a prank using remote activation. Others think it's a ghost programmer needing to complete a project. Many note the orb activity in the video. Are these the entities that are present? It's certainly seeming that way to me. It's common knowledge that animals are very sensitive to spirits. This woman's dog seems to have detected something supernatural near the stairs. Published by Exploring with Felicity in December of 2021. This scary video captured a mysterious full-body apparition on camera. After her dog wouldn't approach the stairs, even for his ball, Felicity set up a security camera to see what was going on. Here's what she found. In a corner of the hallway near the stairs, an apparition appears for a moment. It moves around and then disappears before reappearing again and turning in place. It looks like a woman with long hair or a veil wearing a long dressing gown. The apparition disappears and reappears once more, much closer to the camera, but it looks like she's bent over this time and standing up, her hair hanging over her head. The image really gives me the chills. Is this a ghost nun, as some are suggesting in the comments? I'm not sure if that's the case, but whatever she is, she certainly doesn't seem very friendly. There's something more to this cemetery than what meets the eye. Published by KBC Cazadores de Fantasmas in January of 2022. Crew senses a presence at the Seaway Cemetery. As they're wandering through the grounds, something makes a sound behind the wall. They all run to different parts of the wall to try and look in. Nothing is beyond it. Later, a strange light flashes, again from behind the wall in the graveyard. Something is sinister here, but I'm not sure what. Something is buried in the debris of this house. Published by Proving Demons in December of 2021, these paranormal explorers couldn't last the whole night in this very haunted house. Immediately upon entering, they see that this house houses some strange stuff. They soon start to hear creepy noises as well.
I know, so just stick close to me. Shh. What was that button?
They also think they hear walking upstairs.
Yo, is there somebody in here?
As they're looking up the stairs, they start to hear a woman's voice humming. They don't encounter whatever is making the noise, but later as they're about to use a paranormal device, they hear another strange sound. A second sound follows as they're trying to make their way through all the garbage to leave.
Come with me.
They manage to get out of the place, and maybe just in time. Under the ancient city of Taif, Saudi Arabia, is a scary haunted cave tunnel that you don't ever want to go exploring by yourself. Famous ghost hunter Abdullah Al-Anbari has made a career out of fearlessly exploring such haunted places, but the question remains, will this haunted place scare him?
في شيء بسم الله الرحمن أنا مستخدم كشاف الرأس.
So far, he's kept his cool among some scary things. Exploring the tunnel some more reveals that it's been walled off, and yet, just when the ghost hunter decides to turn around and go back, something paranormal beckons him to stay. The cave is suddenly filled with scary noises and a strange mist that wasn't there moments before. He waits for some more activity and finds nothing. Apparently, he is braver than the ghosts once more and leaves victorious. This video could be paranormal unless they somehow figured out a way to get on the other side of that wall to make the noises themselves, though I don't happen to see one. These British YouTubers are having a look around an old synagogue that hasn't been used in ages. The space is well lit, and soon they stumble upon a ladder leading to a much darker attic area. One of them bravely climbs along the wooden rafters and goes much farther out than the rest. Everything is going fine until he makes the mistake of stepping on the much weaker fluffy white insulation.
It's just white.
He just barely catches himself and now hangs suspended from the ceiling, too stunned to scream. His upper half still in the attic and his bottom half dangling in the air. Look down the hole and you can see he's at a dizzying height. If he hadn't quickly grabbed onto the rafters for support, there would be nothing to keep him from free falling to the bottom. Cat videos can only be this creepy when they're from Russia. They leave the cat on the bed and go into the living room, which they think is haunted, and put down the camera. Caught on tape is some strange activity, perhaps paranormal, or really weird things to say the least. One of them is behind the chair moving things. I'm sure some will say, I thought the same thing, but when I first showed them walking into the room at 1 minute and 2 seconds, you and I both get a glimpse under the chair. Nothing is there. Did they crawl under the camera after they put it down, or is something supernatural haunting the house like they claim? Gothboy Prince is back with a pair of extra creepy dolls caught moving on tape. This paranormal evidence is beyond creepy, and it's downright terrifying.
I had to back up the rat.
Look, look, look, look, look. Look,
Ah!
look, look,
Ah!
look, look,
Ah!
look, look, look, look, look,
Ah!
look, look, look, look.
No! Bring that camera over here!
He orders the dolls to make the ghost meter move all the way to red. The ghost meter changes color, and one of the dolls is caught moving on camera at the same time.
Oh, he moved. Take this.
Look, look, look, look, look.
I'm scared.
At 17 seconds, a ghost orb appears to move out of the doll's foot while their paranormal equipment continues to go crazy. A final scary moment is when Goth Boy Prince wraps his hands around the doll in hopes of provoking a response. It works because the ghost meter keeps blinking until the exact moment he breaks contact, at which point the meter stops moving and stays off. Despite this strange encounter, Gothboy Prince says in the comments that he lets the doll sleep near his bed. I can't tell if he's joking or not, but I guess he isn't afraid of being watched, or even potentially possessed. A paranormal photo from Gary, Indiana seems to have caught something strange on camera. The silhouette of a ghostly figure that seems intent on burning down the house that it's been caught in for years. Even the comments seem ominous, with one person simply writing, "I live right next to Gary, Indiana, and this isn't the first time something paranormal happened in that town." Almost like they're talking from experience. When somebody wants to know more stories, they never get a response. Almost like the person has already said too much stuff that outsiders were not supposed to hear. Twins and paranormal investigators Kim and Roxy from a channel called Twin Travel 03 go ghost hunting at the Stanley Hotel in Napanoke, New York. Their ghost hunting app seems to constantly activate when held over one of the creepy dolls. The other two dolls, although creepy, don't seem to set it off at all.
Nothing. Nothing. This little lady.
Kim and Roxy also get a strange paranormal readout in a closet that even one of the employees finds strange enough to comment on.
An old-time phone. There is no phone, but we still hear it ring. And you get a K2 pin, aren't you?
Yeah, I just did.
Huh.
And when they tell the ghost to take a step back, it seems to obey their commands.
Back away so it goes down to single green. Thank you.
But the creepiness is only just beginning.
Can you move the ball, please?
Oh, we got her chills.
Can you move the ball, please?
It's moving, thank you.
If you are not a believer of the paranormal, then tell me how this can happen with a kid's toy that is filled with nothing more than air.
Again, please.
Oh my.
Larry Glow has a haunted home that keeps him on edge at all times. He records down the hallway because a ghost is down there. He's sure of it. I'm not sure what he is saying and need your help to fully understand.
Lo que está pasando. Sé que yo escuché algo por aquí. Esto está jodón, esta vaina aquí.
He hears a loud noise from behind as the ghost walks past and touches a light. The living room is where he experiences the most paranormal activity, so there's already a second camera all set up. Here is the same scary moment from a different angle. As you can see, he hears a bang, turns around, and that's when this stuffed animal gets possessed. Is someone pulling strings off camera, or are these objects moving on their own? Grim Experience is a YouTuber who has been experiencing paranormal activity at not one, but two separate homes.
Okay, you know how her house is haunted. We explored the basement the other day. Clearly haunted.
It really is.
I ain't ever going over there again.
There's so many stories, like I could write a book.
His wife was using the Ouija board, and now they think something followed them out of her basement and into their home. They decide to go ghost hunting at 3 a.m. in a room full of collectible dolls. What they've caught on tape is beyond creepy, but is it paranormal? Let's take a look.
And they said, give us a sign. And then all of a sudden,
Alright, do we have to talk about
the flowers started rising up out of the...
He is in the middle of telling us what happened in the basement when he is interrupted by an avalanche of dolls caught on video falling over. He's so into his story that he runs forward seconds before the dolls fall. So perhaps his pounding footsteps are to blame. Except look again. At 1 minute and 50 seconds, Grim sees a demonic ghost face grinning back at him. The ghost must have attached itself to one of the dolls, and when the dolls moved, it was because the ghost was feeding off his wife's fear. If you heard this sound in the middle of nowhere, what would you do? Instagram account Cryptid University posts this video taken at a borrowed cabin in the middle of the forest. Listen closely.
That time.
I don't know about you, but I got absolute chills from this audio. Listen again.
What in the bloody fuck? Why am I doing it?
Is this a skinwalker? I think it might be, and if so, it's actually closer than we think. While visiting Memeland, YouTuber Fokker Donkey captured a paranormal sighting while out on a ghost hunt. As the guys drive forward, something uncanny drifts past. Did you see it? A pale figure appears on the left. The crew believes this is a Pakong, a Javanese ghost said to be the soul of a passed away person trapped in their shroud. I'm not totally sold on this one, simply because I think it could be a statue in the darkness, appearing to drift as they drive past. Then again, it almost looks like it moves upward rather than just sideways. What do you think? This strange anomaly was discovered on CCTV outside the workplace of Redditor Phantom 881999's father at around midnight.
And then my phone and then she did.
The Redditor thinks it's an artifact, but those in the comments have other ideas. While it does look incredibly disturbing, I agree that the spottiness is due to video compression or a camera glitch. It is likely two people walking, one in black and one in white. The figure in white may be using a cane, but all things considered, I wouldn't rule out the idea of a three-legged demon. While spending the night in a haunted location in Saskatchewan, Canada, Redditor Purgatory Adventures felt the lightest touch. First they see a figure on the Connect.
There it is again. Can you wave to us if that's you?
This is like directly right in front of me.
Can you wave if that's you? Whoa, it just picked up its hand. Can you wave? Can you wave to us?
They ask the figure to put both arms up, and it complies.
Thank you so much. Can you put both arms up in the air? Can you put them both up? Can you put the right and left? Oh, just went up. Do it. Can you hold them up?
The figure is reluctant to reach for his hand.
Yeah, no way.
Can you reach for my hand? Can you reach for it? You grab?
What the?
Can you reach for it?
But at last he reaches out.
My hand.
Oh, there he is.
Whoa.
There it is.
Whoa, I felt that.
It just touched
I felt it.
While some believe this is a ghost, others think it's an interaction between people in parallel universes.
I felt it touch my hand.
I've gotta say, I prefer that explanation. A doorbell camera captured an interesting visitor one night at around 10 p.m. TikToker LENTHIN shares this video. It appears that the woman just stands there for a moment, breathing loudly, and then leaves, carrying her bag of mysteries. It doesn't even seem like she rings the doorbell.
Hell.
Would this terrify you? It does certainly terrify me. I wouldn't open the door ever again. Werewolves lurk in this forest. Enter if you dare. YouTube team Fatos et Mysterios faced off with a wild half-man, half-dog in this scary video. First, they hear it.
Também escutei tipo bater de orelha mesmo, vi? Sei lá o que foi isso. Olha aí de novo, olha lá.
And soon, they spot it right before it gives chase. Its growl soon sends him running. And despite fleeing the werewolf, it's still stalking them in the darkness.
Liga logo tua moto, liga! Vai, liga.
Will they escape?
Tô vendo.
They'd better hope so, or I think they'll soon be part of the wolf pack too. Who knows what is watching in the darkness? This YouTuber may have captured a spirit stalking him in this graveyard. Watch to the right of the tree. Watched at a slower speed, you can definitely see a figure peeking out at the driver. It's unclear what the figure is. It's even unclear if it's human or post-human. But this one looks legit to me, and if I were this YouTuber, I'd get out of that graveyard ASAP. Who knows what is watching him, or why? While visiting the morgue of this abandoned hospital, YouTubers The Fam and Oh My Gosh TV start to feel very cold. Their search begins outside, where James shares some of the horrifying history of this place.
Looked up some pictures of this place, and there used to be about 2,000 crosses right here. So they actually buried the dead bodies right here. And I'm a little worried because it looks like they were dug up or something. I don't know exactly what happened, but...
As they continue inside, he's shocked that he barely missed stepping to his demise.
Yeah, that's electrical panels, okay.
What? Oh, I didn't even see that. What the?
You just...
Whoa! How did it?
Alright, look, new rule. You have to stand right by my side, okay?
They then hear something creepy.
I heard that. I heard a noise. I don't know what it was.
Well, I didn't hear what they did. The next noise is undeniable.
Oh, no. I don't know, dude. Was there finale?
I can't say for sure, but after hearing that, I'd surmise that there's something very much alive in this abandoned morgue. Did spirits latch onto the relics housed in this Titanic replica in Branson, Missouri? YouTuber The Omar Gosh Vlogs and his team explore the Titanic Museum in this mysterious video. Each of the museum goers is given a passport, like they're passengers themselves on the Titanic.
George Wright, and you get to kind of hold on to one of these people, like they actually make you feel like you're a passenger yourself.
They use the spirit box in one of the rooms to see if any of the Titanic's victims linger.
Are there any spirits in this room with us?
Okay. You were taped like 3 times.
What's your name?
They seem to get multiple responses, and as they continue, they get many more.
Are there any spirits here that were talking to me the first time at the other exhibit?
Although I didn't see any paranormal activity throughout the exhibit, these legit responses to Omar's questions makes me think that there's really something to this place, fitted with a replica grand staircase. It also just seems like an exhibit I'd want to visit and explore myself. This ghost wants to be a cameraman. YouTube team Dorset Ghost Mysteries captured this paranormal activity while on an overnight ghost hunt.
Thank you. Thank you for those words. Have you got any more words to tell us? What the heck happened there, Glenn? Glenn? Yeah.
What could possibly be messing with their camera like this? Are we seeing the haunted castle live up to its reputation? I think that's the case, but there's no way to be 100% sure without more evidence. But I do know one thing. What they've captured already is terrifyingly creepy. We all wish we could see our dearly departed loved ones one last time. Well, a friend of Redditor BRUUHUHUHUBHUHUHU was lucky enough to have one last visit from her recently passed away grandma, but it's super creepy. This video was captured in Romania. Denise's grandma had recently passed away and was buried. When Denisa heard this creepy voice, she immediately began filming. Watch for the woman's face at the end. Denisa says the voice was her grandma's and this face looks like hers. I know from past research that an entity who looks and sounds like someone familiar is often a demon pretending. So if I were Denisa, I wouldn't approach grandma. Some paranormal entities don't like being investigated. YouTube team Spirit Brothers UK is being growled at by this one. They set up a paranormal device in this haunted space.
Right guys, so what we're going to do is just going to throw another stone in here because we've heard it again.
Their device starts to go off.
That's just gone off. Sensible.
And this is what they capture on their recording device.
That's in that room, mate.
What is that horrible voice? I don't want to know what evil made this sound, but I think it's in the room with them. YouTuber Near Shadows has a stalker. After being led here by Randonautica, this is what they capture on camera.
That's it. What the heck?
Oh my, please, please.
Go.
Please.
Go.
Please.
What the was that?
Is that a demon, a banshee, or is it human? It doesn't sound human to me. My money's on this being a banshee. A subscriber contacted YouTuber Kolya of Seeker of Ghosts with a complaint of a poltergeist causing havoc in his apartment. Kolya heads to the place to investigate and to spend a sleepless night. With some candles, he asks the spirit to show itself.
Если ты сейчас здесь и слышишь меня, прояви себя. Спасибо за то, что ты себя проявил.
It is here. Not long after, it makes a bigger fuss.
Офигеть, какая-то уже паранормальная активность. Просто смотрите, друзья.
After shaking the desk and flickering the lights, the poltergeist starts throwing things. As he tours the home, more activity occurs in the next room. And then this happens. Something is angry here, but as this is the end of the video, we won't see how that anger escalates, but if I had to guess, I'd say Kolya will get no sleep tonight. Check your door, there might be someone hiding just around the corner. TikToker Do You Believe 2 shares this video of what looks like a figure lurking right outside their front door. On the other side of the frosted window panes, someone or something appears to be crouched down. Even the dogs are on high alert, and then it just disappears.
What the f? Too scared to open my door.
Watch that again. The way it disapparates is beyond creepy. It doesn't look to me like the figure moved out of the way, but rather like it melted. Many in the comments are as perplexed as I am.
What the f?
I have no idea what this thing is. My only advice would be, do not open that door. You don't want to give that thing an opening. An old woman is said to haunt the village of Arai, and YouTuber Han Kardashler and his team are here to investigate. As they set out to explore, they hear strange noises in the thick fog.
Sesi duyuyor mu arkada? Aşağıdan.
There was a figure down that road, but it could simply be a person. Still, it looks creepy to me, and that's made even creepier when the cameraman later sees an old woman behind him.
Hemen arkamda bir tane yaşlı bir kadın. Şimdi ben onu görüyorum.
They return to the haunted village at night, and through the window of this haunted house, they see an old lady.
Evet. Kim var? Bir iki kişilerin. Belki de şuradan gireceğim. Farklı. Oradan da pencere kapalı.
Is it the old lady? The guys think this woman is alone in here, talking to herself, but I see another woman sitting next to her.
Kadın var mı? Tekti bu arada. İki kişilerin. Bu ne? Anlatıyor kolay diye görünmüyor. Gözükmüyor işte. Neyi anlatıyor acaba? Bilmiyorum ki. Kanka tek kişi yok kanka.
If this place is supposed to be abandoned, then it's creepy that these women are hosting some sort of gathering here. But otherwise, I think the guys should continue looking for their old lady ghost. After receiving an alert on his phone, Redditor Django Crutch is wondering if this is a shadow figure or a bug. Take a look.
Yes, sir. What's up? What's up?
The shadow-like creature shifts upward through the Redditor's yard and then disappears off screen. Of course, Redditors have their theories. By the way it moves, I'd agree it's most likely a bug on the lens. but it could also be that evil is trespassing. If I were this Redditor, I would be exercising a high degree of caution. A little boy ghost is apparently haunting the disappointments room at the historic Jefferson Hotel. The official YouTube channel for the hotel shares this footage, captured on security camera. I'll let the hotel's manager explain.
I'm telling the spirits, you know, right here, I'm leaving to show themselves. We're doing a little investigation up here in what we call the...
He is seen taking a photo in the room, and this is the result.
In question. If you look in the center of your screen, what I see is a little boy with a jacket staring at me. I'm going to show you a series of photos, and let me show you the enhanced version right there.
Do you see what he's seeing? I do, and now I'm wondering how this boy passed away and why he haunts the disappointments room. This mysterious figure warrants even further digging into the Jefferson's storied history. Submitted to the Chills Narrator subreddit by Ramsey Rocks 2023, this Redditor wrote, UFO over my yard in Kings Mountain, North Carolina. My neighbor called me over as I was out walking my dog and he was filming this. It made no sound. You can hear him talking in the background. He handed me the phone because he was shaking so hard. Traffic went by on the road as if we were the only ones who saw this. Let's watch their submission and see what they're talking about.
Okay, I don't have them. Okay, gang, I don't know what I'm looking at here. Just when they're over the trees in my backyard right now. You can hear the crickets and stuff, the cars go by. What the was that? Oh,
there was certainly a wide array of opinions about this video in the comments. It's just hearsay wrote, nice footage, while other alternative 75 wrote, those are Elon Musk's SpaceX satellites. Which side are you on here? Unidentified flying object or satellite? Let me know in the comments.